Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, T. Kell, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. T. Kell and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event with your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. It is Hump Day, 5 minutes past the top of the hour. May the 12th, Ben McKee, Jason Swain, live here from the Low T Center studio. My man, Ben, good morning, individual.
Good morning. How be you?
Man, feeling great. I would say looking great, but that would be a lie. But, man, feeling good this morning, man. Feeling good this morning.
That's
Slept like a baby last night.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad that you slept like a baby.
You didn't?
I never sleep enough during the week.
I feel you, man. I feel you. The older you get, the less sleep you really, 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 really need.
Well, it's my own fault because it's not like I have 3 kids like you. It's my own fault that I'm not responsible enough to go to bed at a reasonable time as someone who has to wake up early and try to appear coherent with his words on the airwaves in the morning. And instead, I was watching an episode of Law and Order SVU. That's the show that I've picked up is
I like
Law
that
and
shit.
Order. I love Law and Order.
What Ice-T talking about? Ice-T and SVU?
Yes, but I started from the beginning. So like there's 22 seasons, and I decided to try and tackle that monster. So I started season 1. So I just finished season 1, and the first episode he ever appeared in was actually the one that I watched last night.
The way Ice-T responds to people on Twitter is the way I want to.
You should. Why can't you?
It's like, it's Ice-T. If I could do like a mix between Ice-T and Kurt Herbstreit, man, that would be awesome.
Doesn't he have like an idiot of the day? Or I don't know if that's the exact words he uses, but he has something like that.
Man, it is so hilarious. So hilarious. Download the free Swain Event app for Android Apple devices. Listen to us online at swainevent.com. View the show. YouTube. By going and subscribing to the YouTube Swain Event page. You can also like the Swain Event Facebook page. Get that alert each and every time that we go live. Also view the show on Twitter at Swain Event. Big meat. All right.
Larry Hoover.
All right.
Whipping work.
Let's not waste any time this morning.
Hallelujah.
Let's not waste any time this morning. Tennessee announced yesterday that the opener versus Bowling Green moved up 2 days to September the 2nd. It is going to be at 8 p.m. It's going to be on SEC Network. Tennessee sent out a release after VolQuest dropped it a little bit earlier. First-year head coach Josh Heupel and his Volunteers will make their debut in a nationally televised SEC Network primetime game Thursday, September the 2nd against Bowling Green in Neyland Stadium. Kickoff is slated for 8 p.m. So last night, I dropped a poll on the Swain Event app. How do you feel about the 2021 season opener versus Bowling Green moved to Thursday night? And so you can go and vote there. The answers, well, the questions is, the options is approve or disapprove. So you can approve it, you can disapprove. Let us know how you feel about the season opener move to Thursday night.
I disapprove of the 8 p.m. kick prior to us having to do a Friday morning show. I disapprove of the kickoff time. Can we not do it at like 4 o'clock, please? Please.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Because here's a question that everyone needs to ask themselves. And I still got the intro playing in my head right now, so that's why I'm kind of dancing a little bit while I'm talking. I can't get the music out of my head. So
you're just blowing money fast. It's okay.
So I don't have like a condition or anything. I'm not hungover or anything. So don't
have a condition.
Don't judge me. I hear music still. But here's what you have to ask yourself. Tennessee's putting out this release. Tennessee's moving the game to Thursday, 2 days before it was scheduled to be played. Ask yourself this. Is it about you?
Yes.
Or is it about you?
Me.
I repeat. Is it about you or is it about you? What does that mean? Our initial reaction as human beings, especially in the Western Hemisphere, is me. My convenience. My experience. How does it affect me? So is it about you personally? How does this interrupt my life? How does it fit in with my schedule? How does it work out for me? The other question is it about you? Well, the you I'm referring to is the university, short for University of Tennessee. So is it about you? Which one weighs heavy or heavier? So when I first heard the news, which was not yesterday, I started weighing pros and cons. So looking at both sides of it. You know, kind of a Swain Event thing here. I started weighing pros and cons. I think we did this in like middle school, didn't we? No, we do this all the time. Even being a grown-up, we do this all the time.
I don't like being a grown-up.
Whenever we make big decisions. Ben, you had a recent big decision to make with your career, and I'm pretty sure that you made a list of pros and cons, whether you did it, you put pencil to pad, or if you did it mentally. But whenever you move into another home, sell a home, decide that that you want to have another child, or they just kind of pop up, whatever happens. You buy a new car, any big time career move, any big time life changing decision that you have to make. There's a pros and a cons section, and you make a list. Think about the last time you bought a car. Ben, this doesn't apply to you because we know the car was given to you because you have a Charger. It's given to you by Nick Saban.
Correct.
But think about the last time you bought a car. You go, oh yeah, okay, I like this car. Why? Because it looks good, right? It looks good. It's a pro. You go and you see, ooh, not that great on gas mileage. That's really important right now. That's a con. It's a really good price, but I don't like the color. That's a con. How about maintenance? How about repairs? I like the car, but we know it's a machine, and at some point it's going to need to be serviced, and it may need some repairs. The repairs are way too much. That's a con. The resale value. Oh, the resale value is great. That's a pro. At the end of the line, after you've written down your pros and your cons, you determine, okay, does the cons outweigh the pros or the pros outweigh the cons? And then you make your decision. Not saying that you make a decision based on perfection, one side being just having all the check marks and the other side not having any at all. No, there's pros and cons with every situation. Whenever you decide to make a point to your significant other, husband or wife, you know you're right. Then you have to decide, do I really want to let my significant other know I'm right on this one? Or should I just let it go? Is this the time? Well, the pros is I'm going to feel good being right. The con is it's going to be a damn argument, going to have an attitude. I ain't got time for all that. So we weigh out the pros and cons all the time in our lives. All the time. All the time. Well, I did the same thing here, Ben. Start listing the pros and the cons, moving this game to Thursday. Let's start with the cons, Ben. The cons for the Swain event is, my goodness, we got to get up early in the morning. Well, after going to the game, because it's one thing to go to the game and be able to leave at 12 o'clock. It's another thing when you have to sit there and write and all that stuff, and you ain't probably going to leave the game until 1:30 or 2. Did you hear me, Ben? I said, you are probably not going to leave the game until 1:30 or 2. So for you, as in personally, it's a late ending.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I might be asleep by the third quarter. I'm just kidding.
Just wait till Tennessee pulls an Appalachian State.
I hope not. So one of the cons is, hey, it's going to be a late game on a Thursday. Okay, on a Thursday. It's school. All right. What's another con? Can you think of any more? Oh, I got one. Local businesses that count on the weekend game.
And there are, along the same lines, there are fans who simply can't take off work and drive from out of town to attend the game. I'm sure there are some who already had tickets, and because now it's during the week, they can no longer make it. Or there were people planning on going, but because it's a weeknight, can no longer make it.
That's what I got. I got 3 local businesses and weekend. I got travel for some fans. I got a late ending on the weekday. We got 3. Check the text box. I know there's some on here in text box. Let's see. I'm looking for those cons. I mean, not Georgia Bulldog players. I mean, like, cons to the question here. Those are different type of cons we're talking about. Huh? Say something?
Mm-mm.
Oh. I think we had the last last incident, though, Tennessee, though.
Not only the last incident, but given the fact that our most productive defensive player last year was dealing drugs, don't know that we should be throwing that type of shade in anybody's direction at the moment.
He's not on the team, man. Don't count. Yeah, he's not on the team, man. Don't count. He don't count at all. So cons, I don't have any more besides those 3.
For me personally, I don't have any more.
I mean, let's get the cons out of the way. Where are they?
Well, here's one for T. Diddy. He doesn't know whether his wife will be able to go with him. Which,
I don't know if that's a con or a pro.
That may be a pro. I guess it depends on. SB 4 Vols 84 says relevant teams don't play on Thursdays.
That's not
but
true.
Ohio State is playing the same night.
That's not true.
Ohio State's pretty relevant.
That's not true. Hey, boy, that's not true. Here's a perfect example of not pushing sin or really thinking a take through before letting it flow. Don't just come up with things of reasons why Tennessee should be playing on Thursday. Don't make it up. Because yesterday on Twitter, I had someone tell me, "Oh man, I thought I was seeing double. I thought I needed to go get my eyes checked."
You probably do. You're getting a little old anyway.
I got 20/20 vision. Like, I had someone tell me, kind of sad. I get your point, but Tennessee shouldn't need to move games to Thursday for exposure, but we ain't Tennessee anymore. I don't even know what that means. Because last time I checked, you always need exposure. Always. Not sometimes, not a little bit, not here and there. Always. Bama has been playing different games in neutral site play and on neutral sites or at neutral sites. Played in Dallas, played in Atlanta. You got Nick Saban being part of the NFL, draft coverage. Now, why in the hell would he do that? Because he surely doesn't need to do it. You don't always do what you need to do. Jeff Bezos don't need you to go to Amazon.com or order anything, but he sure appreciates it. He sure still have Amazon.com alive and running. He don't need any more money, but he's still cashing them checks. Elon Musk don't need any money, but he can't wait to sell you a Tesla. Ohio State don't need any exposure, but guess who's playing on Thursday? September the 2nd. Ohio State, the team that played for a national championship. The team that's right there with Alabama and Clemson on top of college football. So try again. Let's try again. Exposure is not something you get. It's not like going to Golden Corral and being like, oh man, there's this exposure all on the menu. And I'm just gonna eat up exposure. And then when I get full, I don't need any more exposure. Hey, you gonna have any dessert? No, I'm full on exposure. I'm good. I don't need any more exposure. No. You always want exposure. You can never have enough. You can never get full on exposure. Nick Saban does a lot of things that he's doing, and they're dominating college football because he wants more exposure. Why did Tennessee agree to play UCLA? Cal. Huh? You think we just wanted to play in front of the palm trees?
Wanted to visit the West Coast.
You think we just wanted to visit the West Coast?
Yeah.
No, it's for exposure. Why? Because Tennessee is a national brand that recruits from coast to coast. Exposure. Personally, it's a little inconvenient for me and a little inconvenient for Ben McKee. But the bigger picture is that this is good for Tennessee.
Well, and honestly, for me personally, just my personal pros and cons, there's only one on each side of the pros and cons list. For me personally, the con is that I'm going to be up really late and then have to turn around and get up really early. But whatever, I don't care. I love my job. I'm more than happy to write about a football game and then get up and talk about a football game. That's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Like, I'm more than happy to do it, but it still won't be necessarily fun. But the pro for me, and this is why I personally love the Thursday game, and it's because I have the ability to live in Knoxville, and I don't have to worry about traveling late after the game, and getting to the game won't be an issue for me because I live 15 minutes from campus. I get to watch football this weekend or that weekend. I get to watch the other football games that weekend. Typically, I don't get to watch a ton of other SEC college football. So for me, I love the fact that it's on Thursday because I can sit down and watch football all day Saturday. I don't typically get that luxury. So that's literally the only reason that I love that it's going to be played on a Thursday. Yeah, let's get the Bowling Green game out of the way. It'll be at night, which sure defeats a noon game on Saturday or a 4 o'clock game on the SEC network, which is still going to be on the SEC network, but 8 o'clock is better than noon or 4 o'clock. So let's go ahead and get it out of the way. It's a night game. I love night games in Neyland. Pretty dope. And then I get to watch football all weekend.
I got something I'm gonna drop, and I'm gonna get to C-Mac. Oh, I got another con. Attendance. There may be attendance may be down. I mean, I don't know. It's a possibility attendance could be up because we're talking about Tennessee opening game against Bowling Green. That sounds like Jefferson Pilot to me. That sounds like Jefferson Pilot noon. And I remember my first game as a Tennessee Volunteer. I was miserable. I went from playing high school football on Friday nights, my first collegiate game, it had to be 237 degrees outside. It was noon. We played Fresno State, and I wasn't playing like I thought I should be playing. So I started like looking up in the stands, and I was seeing like ushers and fans being carried out of the stadium. Folks look like they was dehydrating, being carried off on stretchers. That's what y'all want? Y'all want that? Who wants that? It had to be 172 degrees out there. It was muggy. It was miserable. It was terrible. Anyways, think about this. On a serious note, I'm going to get to see Mac. This morning, as I was going to pick up Ben and I was looking at my gas light being on, I was thinking about over the years doing this show, how many Vol fans we have lost. We have lost people on Twitter that we have had a relationship with that we never met personally. I think about Selena Summers. Never met her personally. Well, she passed away a couple months ago. I think about Big Ben, passed away a couple years ago, cancer. I think about folks that used to listen to the show or Tennessee fans that's not with us anymore. And I wonder, would they be complaining and whining about going to a Tennessee game on a Thursday night when you really only get 6 or 7 of these opportunities a year? It's one night. Oh, you got work. Guess what? It is May the 12th. I think you got plenty of time to request a day off. And if you know about a game in May for September and you have not planned properly to have some PTO time, that means you need management help. You need to manage your off time better.
Or it means that it should not be a big deal to you either way.
Because I remember how uncomfortable, inconvenient, terrible the Battle of Bristol was after the fact. But that was a cool moment. That was history. That was freaking amazing. It was totally worth it. All right, let's get to C-Mac. C-Mac, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Swain.
What's up, C-Mac?
Another day, another opportunity to be great. I have a constructive con.
Yes, let's hear it, man. You must be on the East Coast, man, because you called in the first hour.
Yeah, still, it's gonna be. I'm gonna hurt. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be hurting next week. I'm gonna really be hurting next week, but we'll get there when we get there. Constructive con.
All right, what you got?
In this, I'm worried about pulling the game up if that's going to cut into preparation time for the team. New staff, new schemes, new offense. I guess relatively sort of new defense. Moving the game up to Thursday, was that also on the front end of like summer camp, of fall camp? Does that give us the opportunity to start a couple of days sooner?
Yep.
Man, Mac, you on time, man. Go ahead, Ben.
Because the game moves up 2 days from Saturday to Thursday, Tennessee will start fall camp 2 days earlier.
Holler at your boy.
Hey, I got something else for you, C-Mac. I'm glad you brought that up, man. I am so glad you brought that up. Oh, I got something else for you. I wonder who thought about this when they were, complaining about this game being moved up. C-Mac, you know who we play second?
Yes, that's the game I'm most interested in. I have a follow-up question about this. We play Pittsburgh.
We play Pittsburgh, right? We play Pittsburgh second. Yeah. So we know what the Florida game, the Georgia game, and the Alabama game is going to be, right? Mm-hmm. We know the potential outcomes in that game, right?
Wins. A lot of points and wins.
We're not gonna win those games against Florida.
Hey, it's a coin flip. But we digress. We digress. Go ahead.
C-Mac, I need you to wake up. I need you to wake up,
I
C-Mac.
am awake. I just answered a really good question.
I need you to wake up. I know, but sometimes people sleepwalk and they find themselves.
Touche.
Yeah, I mean,
touche.
Yeah.
Touche.
Or they say things they don't mean when they're tired.
Yeah, I mean, you can sleepwalk and still, tell me 2 + 2 is 4. That don't mean that you awake. So I need you to wake up, C-Mac.
Touche. Okay.
Alabama, Florida, Georgia, those are L's. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
C-Mac.
Yep.
All right, you with me? All right.
I'm with you.
So you have South Alabama, you have Bowling Green, you have some other games that you can say, all right, that's wins. Then you have some toss-up games. Okay, you have toss-up games that are very, very important that you win to generate some momentum. Right?
Yep.
Well, when you're looking at the schedule, sometimes ADs look at the schedule and coaches, they work together. They go, hey, let's try to get a bye week before we play South Carolina or Missouri or, Kentucky or whatever. You try to get a bye weekend before you play a certain team. It's called an advantage. Well, how about this? Anybody think about this? By playing Bowling Green on Thursday 2 days earlier, you have now put yourself in position to have 2 extra days of prep for Pittsburgh.
Ooh. Okay.
Anybody thought about that?
I think so.
A game that's important. It's an important toss-up game. It's an important non-conference toss-up game at the beginning of the season because we know how important it is to go into the Florida game 3-0. Go into SEC play 3-0. You need to create some momentum. 2 extra days that you can prepare for Pitt while Pitt is playing their first game. Hold on. I'll tell you. Pitt's playing their first game on the 4th. So you have gained 2 prep days over Pitt.
I'm with it.
Anybody thought about that?
How long before Pittsburgh announces that their game has been moved up to Thursday?
Do it.
They won't. Let's not.
You know why they won't, C-Mac? Because they don't have the SEC network. We do.
Oh, how dare you disrespect the ACC network?
Ain't nobody give a damn about Mark Rick on the ACC network. We got the SEC network, and the game will be played on the 2nd. Oh, let me look here. Tennessee is the only SEC school that's playing on that Thursday. The only other big-time program playing on Thursday is Ohio State. But Tennessee will own SEC Network Thursday. So, here. You want to throw another con in? Well, recruits can't come on Saturday. What recruit want to watch Tennessee play some damn Bowling Green at noon?
Recruits that truly want to be a Vol.
Stop it.
Half the stadium don't want to be out there at noon on Saturday.
Recruits don't want to go to a noon, not the good ones, go to the noon game. They want to go to the good games because they want to see the atmosphere. Recruits ain't going to a visit to a noon game at Bowling Green to start the season. So now for recruiting on a Thursday night, all those recruits can watch you. From coast to coast, you have the eyes of the recruits on Thursday night. So please let me know. Please show me where the cons outweigh the pros here. I can't see it. I can't see it.
That's a part of having that constructive, my perceived constructive con, because it sheds light on how it is truly an advantage. Real quick, before I hop up off of here, to all the individuals in the online space that's complaining, I did say something to the effect of, this is a middle finger to West Tennessee. That was satire, okay? This is me trying to joke.
I mean, it may be.
But on your point, Swain, they announced this on May 11th, okay? May 11th. If you worked almost 9 months out of the entire year and you haven't accrued one paid time off day, you should reconsider what you're doing for a living.
Exactly.
I mean, hell, even the folks at McDonald's get, some accrued paid time off, in the first 4 months. So if you can't get one accrued PTO day, something wrong.
Something is wrong.
Two, it is what is going to be set up. Tennessee trying to give folks a 5-day weekend because that Monday after is Labor Day.
Hey.
So, bust down. Lastly, and I want to leave you guys on this question because we did kind of touch on the Pittsburgh game last year. A coach who did transformative things for both universities, both Tennessee and Pittsburgh, passed away. He passed on, went to the upper room, and I was wondering if it's a possibility at all that we give Coach Majors, not just on the Tennessee side, but given the circumstances with both teams, is it a chance that the game will do something or feature something for Coach Majors? Because I think that would be very, very great, given what happened last year and us not being able to appropriately celebrate his life.
Hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, C-Mac, and thank you so much for the phone call. In 2004, remember I told you about 2003, how miserable that game was? It was 137 degrees outside. We were playing Fresno State. It was a noon game. Oh, my gosh. It was terrible. The following year, we played on a Sunday, and we wore the Condrits Holloway throwback unis, the white uniforms with the shoulder pads orange. We were honoring the past. You had two true freshman quarterbacks playing. They both played great. We put the stump down on UNLV. Your boy had a long pass. I was running. I ran a go route like Jalen Hyatt. That's right. That's right. Check the tape. Check the stats. Had one catch for. No, that's not that game.
You may have ran the same route, but you did not run it like Jalen Hyatt.
It was just like Jalen Hyatt. Nah, it wasn't that game. I'm just kidding. I had one reception that game, but I made a dude miss.
You was on your Ramel Keaton.
Everybody was eating that game. So I wasn't mad. Publicly. Everybody was eating. Everybody had a good game, man. We beat the brakes off of them, but it was so electric inside Neyland Stadium, man. It's something about night games. It's so much better, and it's the difference between doing a night game in the middle of the season versus an inferior opponent. Which who knows which team is the inferior one right now? We don't know. We'll know here in the fall, but like. It's different than doing a night game in the middle of the season versus at the beginning of the season, the first game of the season, because you have the excitement level of college football starting. It ain't like MAC. It ain't like October the 23rd on a Thursday. It's not MACtion. This is the opening weekend. Yeah. So it's good enough for Ohio State, but Tennessee shouldn't do it.
The fact of the matter is that this affects everybody differently.
It does.
And it's all personal preference. Like, again, for me, I don't have a true con. I mean, for me, I like it because I get to watch football on Saturday. If I lived in Huntsville still and try to attend the season opener, then I probably wouldn't be able to attend the season opener, and I would be mad about it. And so you have that portion of the fan base that are out-of-towners, and because it's on a Thursday night, like, they could no longer come to the game, and that upsets them, and that's perfectly fine. And then I also think that you just have people that are just mad at everything right now as it pertains to Tennessee, and there's not a single decision Tennessee could make right now, and they would be okay with. I think there's a portion of that as well, just because of the apathy that has really set in over the last several years. I think that exists. So the fact of the matter is that it affects everybody differently. We all have our personal preferences with how we take in Tennessee football, with how we take in college football, and this move either affects you in a negative way or it affects you in a positive way. My parents, they weren't going to come up for the game. They were going to watch the game on TV. What difference to them does it make that it's being moved from noon on a Saturday to 8 p.m. on a Thursday night? They'll just watch it on a Thursday night now instead. It doesn't really affect them. But if they were planning to come to the game, then they'd probably be bummed out about it. So it's just all circumstantial depending on what you as a fan care about and how you take in Tennessee football games.
You can be personally disappointed that it's inconvenient to you while also understanding the big picture and how it's beneficial for the other you, the university, and the program without spewing venom and making up reasons that are not true. Like, you could do that at the same time. Like, I can come on here and be like, yo, this is really inconvenient to the Swain event. This is really inconvenient. My goodness, Ben may get home at 2 o'clock in the morning, turn around and have to get up at 6 and do the show. I mean, we're going to be really sleepy that Friday. But who cares?
Yep. It's Tennessee football.
Man, it's Tennessee football, baby.
We'll make adjustments. We'll be fine.
We'll sleep after the show.
Yep.
We'll sleep Saturday. We'll sleep earlier that Friday, that evening. Like, who cares, man? Like, when you have to make a trip to California for vacation or Hawaii, you know what sucks about that trip? It's the flight. It's terrible. Do you think about how terrible the lag is and how you feel after that long flight? Do you focus on that? Oh man, my head's gonna be hurting. I'm gonna be dizzy, man. I'm gonna be motion sickness. Do you think about that, or do you think about the beach, or you think about the time that you're gonna have when you're there? And you say, well, I'll just endure that little bit of uncomfortable, that little moment of being uncomfortable. I'm gonna sacrifice that for the overall feeling of happiness because I'm gonna be in California or I'm gonna be in Hawaii. You don't think about the long flight. Same thing here. Like the feeling of Tennessee on a national stage, on the SEC network to start college football season, and Tennessee playing well. And who knows, man? Hopefully Tennessee does something cool with the uniforms, the honor of the past. I don't know. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I hope it would. I hope it will. I hope we do something like that. But and Tennessee plays well and wins, that feeling for me trumps the uncomfortable feeling of having to get up in the morning. Like when Tennessee wins a football game on national TV, prime time, there's only a few feelings that rank high as that. Few feelings.
Well, and here's the good news, and a big-time pro. We won't have to watch Tim Tebow or listen to Tim Tebow on the pregame show.
It's time to take a break while I sip my coffee. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
If you want to get in on the conversation, call the Iris Networks hotline at 865-200-5503. Grow your business with Iris Networks high-speed fiber internet. IrisNetworksUSA.com.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup, or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue, the search is over.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work from anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses. It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Good morning, Swain Event family. As you already know, I'm your go-to realtor when you are considering buying, selling, or investing in East Tennessee real estate. But did you know I can help all of you listeners in other parts of the country? No matter where you're listening from, there's a good chance I have several Keller Williams real estate partners in your area. I've developed relationships with realtors I know I can trust to help you with your needs. So give me a call, Jennifer Morris, Keller Williams Realty, 865-257-7897, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy. Attaboy is brought to you by Made in Tennessee Business Fiber Internet from Iris Networks. Find business solutions for you at irisnetworksusa.com.
Time for Attaboy here on the Swain Event, highlighting positive stories. 90 days, no payment for business internet. That's what you get with Iris Networks business owners. You can go to their website at irisnetworksusa.com or give them a call at 865-448-4747. All right, Ben, what do you have to share with us today?
Just a short, simple attaboy. Arkansas baseball held Childhood Cancer Awareness Night last night. They wore yellow, more of like a mustardy yellow, the cancer emblem yellow. They wore those hats, so instead of the traditional red Arkansas hats that they wear with the white A that they have, they wore yellow hats in honor of Childhood Cancer Awareness, and they allowed 8-year-old Joshua Ortiz to throw out the first pitch, who was battling Which one did you go for, the cha-ching or the They allowed 8-year-old Joshua Ortiz to throw out the first pitch. He's battling leukemia, and it was a cool video that I stumbled upon this morning when I got on Twitter. The SEC Network tweeted it out 11 hours ago, and I gave it a retweet if you want to check it out. Just a really cool moment. So shout out to Arkansas baseball for having a childhood cancer awareness game. Really cool.
My attaboy goes to Russell Westbrook. 2 nights ago, he broke Oscar Robertson's triple-double record. Oscar Robertson had 181 triple-doubles in his career as an NBA player. Many thought the record would never be broken. Think about it. I mean, you've had Larry Bird, you've had Magic Johnson, you've had, Julius Erving, Michael Jordan, the Vince Carters of the world. I'm talking about guys that easily can go get you double figures, but were athletic to go and get 10 rebounds a game too, and was tall enough to be able to do that. The Kevin Garnett, who was a really good passer out the post. This is a point guard. This is a 6'4" point guard that now sits on top of NBA history with the most triple doubles in NBA history at 182. Russell Westbrook, he gets the attaboy. Hell of an accomplishment for him.
You have any attagirls for Kim Mulkey this morning?
Nah, man. I got one for Nikki Fargas, though, who is now the president of WNBA team.
Las Vegas
Aces. I think that's what they call.
Yes, they are.
So she gets an attagirl.
For what?
She's the president of the Las Vegas Aces.
I thought she did something.
She was hired.
Well, I know, but that happened like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I mean, it was talked about that she would step down to LSU and take that job, but it actually happened. So, yeah, she gets an attagirl.
Yeah, I didn't know if she did something new. That's why I was curious. That's why I said, what did she do? Because I thought she did something new.
She signed that contract. That's what she did. I'll forever be grateful and thankful to Nikki Fargas, who allowed a young girl to be exposed to pregame when LSU came to town and played against Tennessee. She allowed me and my daughter to be right there at their pregame workout, and she didn't have to do that at all. But it was the Tennessee connection. Tasha Butts is on that staff. Tasha was a senior when I was a freshman, and still have a relationship today. But I always be grateful and thankful for Nikki Fargas allowing us to do that, because she planted that seed in the young girl's mind and heart about basketball, and let her know that girls play this game too, and they play it well. So I'm a big Nikki Fargas fan.
Do you think Kim Mulkey will allow you to do the same? That's why you put her on Attagirl. Now it makes sense.
No, I told you the reason I put her on Attagirl. Why don't you go there and clear your throat while you're trying to throw shade?
That's why you put her on Attagirl. You're trying to get to lay the groundwork so that when she comes to visit Knoxville this upcoming season, she'll extend you that same invite.
Are you trying to give me crap for keeping it real, Ben?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also, Jennifer Morris, great friend of the show. I think everybody's heard of Miss Jennifer a time or two. She has made the best point on the text box this morning about the whole schedule thing, Tennessee being moved up to Thursday, and the best point that will be made today, the best point that will be made all week and all month. She said that she was just happy that we had a date and time set for the first game, because this time last year we didn't even know if football would happen, and that is absolutely great perspective. How quickly we forget where we were this time last year, having conversations about whether football season would even take place, and how we would never take football for granted again. Yet here we are, less than a year later, taking football for granted because a game is being moved from Saturday to Thursday. In the grand scheme of things, is it really a huge deal?
I'm looking at the schedule, Ben, and there's only like the whole entire schedule for college football. Week 0, week 1. There's only 2 games that have a time in the entire country.
Tennessee
and UT Martin and Western Kentucky. Every time is like up in the air. So like you got plenty of time to plan. Now, we counted the games that are going to be played on September the 4th. Well, I counted late last night, and then been counted early this morning. It may be off. Anything counting over 25, it gets a little dicey. We got 64 games. 64 games that we play on Saturday. On September the 4th. So you'd be just in the middle of that, playing at noon, a Jefferson Pilot type of game. There's 4 games being played on that Friday, September the 3rd. North Carolina's playing Virginia Tech. Old Dominion's playing Wake Forest. St. Francis U at Eastern Michigan. And Northern Colorado at Colorado. So if you are North Carolina, Virginia Tech, guess what? You own Friday night.
And guess who will be watching North Carolina, Virginia Tech that Friday night?
All the recruits. I will.
Oh,
I will.
You know who wouldn't be watching North Carolina, Virginia Tech on Saturday? I would not be watching North Carolina, Virginia Tech on Saturday.
I wouldn't either.
Nothing against North Carolina or Virginia Tech. I'm actually interested to watch North Carolina this year because of
Ty Chandler.
Sam Howell, maybe future Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. No, I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
We won't be picking number 1 overall, hopefully. North Carolina's an intriguing team, but I'm sorry, I'm not watching them over Clemson, Georgia on Saturday, or watching them over Tennessee, whoever, on Saturday. So there is advantages to moving the game from Tennessee's standpoint, their own individual standpoint, not taking others' interests into consideration. And when I say others' interests, I'm referring to local businesses and fans. It is in the football program's best interest to move the game to Thursday. Yes. Now, unfortunately, that does hamper local businesses, which I hate. It does affect whether some fans can make it or not, and I hate that as well. But for the football program's own personal goals and whatever, it is in the best. It's an advantage to them to move the game Thursday.
And honestly, it can really wash out when you speak about local businesses, because instead of getting a hotel room for one night, you might get it for 2. And there's some local hotels here that will greatly appreciate your business. You still get, you take Thursday off. You take Thursday and Friday off. Then you can come Thursday and go to Dead End Barbecue. You can still do all those things. You can do all those things. You can make a weekend out of it. The cool thing about Knoxville is, and I remember Vol Nation doing this. Him and his boo went to the mountains. He took Bay to the mountains and made a weekend out of it. You can do that too. Dolly Parton will approve. You going to the mountains with your boo. Hour 2 coming up.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup, or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
At Hiller, we care about your family's comfort all year long. If you get caught without air conditioning this summer, we're offering a free service call with any repair. That's a free service call when we do the work on your HVAC system. Visit happyhiller.com to schedule your appointment today.
Call the happy face truck today.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Play checkers. I can play checkers all day long. I've never played chess. I've never had anyone teach me how to play chess or had the desire to learn how to play chess. But I do understand how to use chess versus checkers in references. And what Danny White did was a chess move to get 2 extra days of preparation against Pittsburgh, while also getting exposure for the Power T brand. And our players will be excited and jacked playing at night rather than playing at noon. So you kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But my touchdown turnover is about Scott Barnes, who is the athletic director at Pittsburgh. No, actually he's not. He just went to Oregon State. Who was athletic director at Pittsburgh?
Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh man.
Josh Dobbs.
Looks like is this Heather? University of Pittsburgh athletic. Yeah, it looks like it's Heather Like. Looks like is the athletic director. So Heather Like is the athletic director at Pittsburgh. Touchdown turnover. Heather Like in Pittsburgh, they move their game up.
Who did you say they play? Not that it really matters.
UMass. Minutemen.
Fighting Minutemen that can only last. That's an interesting question.
Do you think that they try to move their game up? Because this is a big game for them. I mean, don't get me wrong. Pittsburgh has won national championship, but they're not the same brand as the Power T. And I know the success of the program has not been there for Tennessee, but come on now, Pittsburgh This would be a huge deal for them, beating the Power T brand, beating Tennessee. So this is an opportunity for them, just like it's an opportunity for a first-year staff to win this non-conference toss-up game. Do you think they make the move and try to move their game up 2 days? Touchdown turnover.
And Pat Narduzzi, again, Pittsburgh's not a big college football brand, but Pat Narduzzi is a good coach and has he's had success there at Pitt. He's been successful there. If I'm Pat Narduzzi, I'm begging this Heather lady to move up the opener 2 days. Whether or not it'll happen, I don't really know. I'd like to say touchdown because from a competitor standpoint, why would you not? I mean, you see your other competitor that you play week 2, the bigger game, they're moving their game up 2 days, and not necessarily to have 2 more days to prepare for Pitt, but one of the benefits of moving Tennessee's game up is that you do have 2 extra days to prepare for the mighty Panthers. So if I'm Pat Narduzzi, I'm begging the administration to move up their game to that Thursday night. So I'll say touchdown. I think Pittsburgh tries to do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna say turnover. And the way that I'm looking at this thing is, I agree. I think they will want to. I think the football people, the football coaches, the head coach, they understand the advantage that Tennessee's going to have, and yes, they'll want to do the same thing. But the people with the ties, the ADs, the administration team, they're going to understand that they may not be able to, because the other school has to agree. Number one. Number two, if it's televised in one place, but then you have to move it to another time slot, you got to make sure you have availability. So there's a lot of hoops you have to jump through. And for Bowling Green and for Tennessee, they had to cross those T's and dot those I's before this announcement came out yesterday. This is something that was in the works for a while. And so it wasn't like, oh, hey man, we feel like playing on Thursday, let's just play on Thursday. No, you got to go and get that taken care of with the SEC network.
They had to get it approved through the SEC.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, and there's money. There's a big time money opportunity for the SEC network to play a game on a Thursday. There's advertising opportunity. So just follow the money, man. SEC has its own network, more powerful, and maybe Pittsburgh can swing it on ACC network. Maybe they can. Who knows? But I'm going turnover.
Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead.
Was just going to add, I wonder if there's already an ACC network game that Thursday evening. I would imagine that there is.
That Thursday, there's not another ACC team playing, so that could be an opportunity.
USF and NC State plays.
Oh yeah, NC State's ACC. Yeah. So
and they were. I think I saw yesterday in a random article that NC State has like 16 starters returning. So by NC State standards, we'll have to check with CMAC, but by NC State standards, they're supposed to be pretty good this year.
Dave Dorn have them winning 8 games.
Isn't that good for NC State?
They'll have 2 first-rounders and 3 third-rounders and still win 8 games in ACC.
We need CMAC to call back in and tell us what a good NC State football season looks like. But I would imagine that, and NC State's the only ACC team, like you mentioned, playing on that Thursday as of now. So I would imagine that gets put on the ACC network. I could also see that being like an ESPN-U game. So if that is the case, then Pittsburgh could slide up and play on the ACC network. But they could find a TV on Thursday, a TV slot for them on Thursday, whether it's a a crappy channel or watch ESPN. I mean, and we talk about, or folks talk about exposure for Tennessee playing on Thursday instead of Saturday. That applies to schools like Pittsburgh, not necessarily Tennessee. Like Pittsburgh needs to play on Thursday. People are more likely to watch a Pittsburgh game on Thursday than they are Saturday.
I think everybody needs exposure. So
yes, yes, absolutely. I agree with what you said earlier in the show. That's not necessarily the point I'm trying to counter. But to those who say that Tennessee is moving the game to get more eyeballs on its season opener, like, yeah, that may be the case, but that to me applies even more to Pittsburgh than it does Tennessee. Like, for the most part, people are going to watch a Tennessee football game regardless because the brand, even though it has been down, the brand still carries weight. My Alabama buddies, because they are college football fans, they're going to watch a Tennessee game as long as it doesn't interfere with an Alabama game. Just as long as, Tennessee's on TV, they're going to watch because they're college football fans. That's not the case for Pittsburgh. They're not going out of their way on a Saturday to watch Pittsburgh play football.
This scheduling this game reminds me of going to the big box store. Like, it serves dual purposes. Because yes, you get more exposure. Yes, more recruits can see you. Yes, you have now given yourself 2 extra days of preparation versus Pittsburgh. Yes, your players are going to be jacked up. They're going to be excited. Yes, you're playing in a night game. So there's a group of fans or a large group of fans that appreciate that. While you still have other fans who may not. And the poll question that I put up earlier is, how do you feel about the 2021 season opener versus Bowling Green, moved to Thursday night? And 86% approve. So, like, there's a small minority that's really loud. But this reminds me of going to the big box store and being like, yo, I need groceries. You could do that. But I also need to buy a TV. You could do that too. And I need to go to the garden center. Oh, you can do that too. I need to buy some oil in the oil filter to change my own oil in my car. You can do that too. And I need to buy some drawers. I need some new drawers. My other drawers got a hole in it. You can buy some new drawers at the same place. And some jewelry if you want to. Buy some new jewelry. It serves dual purposes here.
The other thing,
multiple purposes, even more than 2.
The other thing that's really great for me about moving Tennessee's game to Thursday.
More time to go buy some draws?
No, I do need some new draws though. Thanks for reminding me.
What?
I get to watch Alabama play. I'm very excited about that. Bama Ben, ready to watch Alabama. Kentucky, Big Blue Ben. I get to watch Kentucky play. Vanderbilt gets to watch Vanderbilt play against ETSU. So all of these different characters and personas that live within inside me, they get to come out, and I get to tune in and watch Texas A&M Ben. I get to watch Vanderbilt. I get to watch all these different personalities that I have.
You gonna watch yourself?
Yes, I get to come out and watch all of these teams that I just love so passionately. All Ben. I'm just absolutely thrilled that Tennessee plays on Thursday, so I can watch all my other teams play on Saturday as well.
I'm happy for you, Ben.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Happy for you. I don't agree, but I'm happy for you. Let's take a quick time out and let's get on the phone with Chris Lowe, ESPN, and let's keep this thing going here in the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Daddy and Barbecues. Time to go to the Irish Networks hotline, where we check in with our guy Chris Lowe of ESPN, ESPN senior writer. Chris, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dan, Jason. Good to be on with Vol royalty and media royalty. How about Ben now, Mr. Swain Event and Mr. Vol Quest?
I mean, the dude got me ushering him around town. I mean, you should have saw Chris. This dude, like, he got in the car. He put his bag in the front seat and sat in the back seat. I was like, what do you think this is, man? You think this is an Uber?
Listen,
You think you like the president or something? Like he's sitting in the back seat.
I gave you about having a posse and an entourage there at that end, and now you got Ben, who's having a guy, you and other people chauffeur him around town.
Yeah, man.
That's
do
why.
when you take him to the baseball games, do you sort of sit outside Lindsey Nelson Stadium and sit there and wait for him?
Yeah, man. I gotta
over?
gotta open the door for him. He wants me to drop rose petals next to his feet like he's Prince Hakeem from Coming to America. Like, I don't get it, man. Ben, this VolQuest thing's really gotten to Ben's head.
Now, Swain, you know your car is way too messy for me to put my bag in the front seat and me sit in the back seat.
I do gotta move a car seat or two for that to happen. But you can sit in the middle. You sit in the middle. You sit in the middle. Chris, how big of a weekend is it for Tennessee baseball program hosting number 1 Arkansas? Things are going to be opened up, 100% capacity. I know you keep up with Tennessee baseball. How big of a weekend is it for Tennessee baseball, Tennessee athletic program? Danny White's, first year as an AD, and there's things to do with the baseball program, but it's a heck of an opportunity this weekend. But just give us your take, your thoughts on this opportunity for Tennessee baseball against Arkansas.
It's the biggest series at Lindsey Nelson Stadium in decades. I mean, sometimes we get caught up in hyping up games and events and series. I don't think that's any hype at all. I know the Vanderbilt series a few weeks ago was a big deal, but this is even bigger because it's later in the series. Tennessee now legitimately playing for the SEC championship, regular season SEC championship. But to me, more importantly, Swain, they've got 6 SEC games left. 3 against Arkansas, and 3 against South Carolina. I think if Tennessee can go 3-3 over those 3 games, they'll get a home super regional. I mean, they're locked to get a home regional site, but they would get, I think, with 20 SEC, because that would give them. They've got 17 wins. I know Ben right on top of that Tennessee baseball team this year. I think they've got 17 SEC wins right now. I think 20 SEC wins gets them a super regional at home, which is big because if you can get out of the regional, then you host that super regional for the right to go to the World Series. Now, it's not going to be quite as big a deal or quite as big as an advantage this year to host regionals and super regionals, because I think the NCAA is going to cap all stadiums at 50%. So it's not like you're going to have every stadium packed. But you know what? That might help Tennessee, because you think about it, at 50% full Lindsey Nelson Stadium, I think is more intimidating than a stadium like at Baum Stadium in Arkansas, which is huge. I think they seat 10,000 people or more than a 50% Baum Stadium or 50% LSU's not going to make it, but Alex Box Stadium. So that might help Tennessee a little bit. But it sure would be nice to play at home and to once again show that you can compete and win games against elite teams, which Tennessee has done already this year, time and time again. My hat's off to Tony Vitello. He's done an incredible job, and he's done it in a short period of time. This town, this community, is just all in with Tennessee baseball. The way they play, the confidence that they play with, the way they play and have each other's back, and it's so cool that you look at this team, and there's not anybody that's hitting 360 with. I think Spence may be the only player over 300, but that's hitting 360 and is just somebody that's a dead cinch lock to go in the top 10 or 15 picks. But man, when they need a hit or they need a guy to come through in the bullpen, it's always somebody different. One game it's Evan Russell, the next game it's Rucker, the next game it's Max Ferguson. It's just on and on and on, and it's been like that all year long, and that's why they're so much fun to play. And I think it all starts with the fact that they know that Tony Vitello is going to let them play. He's going to let them be who they are, and he's got their back. And that's, Swain, you play football at a high level. You know when a coach has your back, and when he's going to let you be who you are, you always play freer. You play with more confidence, and you play for each other. But Tony's, I can't say enough things. He's the epitome. People talk about talent wins, and it's not the X and O's, it's the Jimmys and Joes. Yeah, that's the case. I mean, Tennessee's got good players. I still don't think their personnel ranks up there with Florida and Mississippi State and Vandy and Arkansas. I think it will, because I think Tony's going to get to that point. But Tony Vitello is a shining example of how coaching and good coaching and coaches that understand players and understand, how to get players to play and put guys in positions to succeed and to motivate, how coaches always will make a difference. And he's made a immeasurable difference with his Tennessee baseball program.
Chris, before we move on to football, I did want to get your thoughts on the facility upgrades that Tennessee needs to hand out to the baseball program, and kind of your perspective on what does need to change, and if you've heard any chatter that sweeping changes will come.
Well, speaking of Danny White, and we'll use the baseball analogy here, this is his first big at-bat as AD. I mean, being able to hold on to Tony Vitello, because teams are going to come after him. And why wouldn't you? If you're LSU and you make a move, if you're Texas A&M and you make a move, Arizona State, there are going to be a lot of blue blood programs out there potentially looking for a coach. And here you got a guy at Vitello who's done it at a place with, if not the worst facilities, among the worst facilities in the SEC. And I've seen all the stadiums in the SEC. And I know a lot of fans don't travel to baseball like they do football and basketball. And I'm going to tell you, there's some Taj Mahals in the SEC when it comes to baseball stadiums. Lindsey Nelson is not. So this is Tony's first really crucial at bat. What does he do? Because that's the key. I think the key to keeping Vitello, and I don't think Tony wants to leave, man. I think Tony likes it here. He likes what he's built. The people have been good to him. He's established some really good relationships with people, not just here in Knoxville, but around the state. And I think he sort of likes to see this thing through. But he's also not going to be deaf and stick his head in the sand if somebody comes after him at a place where he knows year in, year out, he has everything that it takes at that place to be in the College World Series. I think that's what he wants at Tennessee, and that starts with the stadium issue. And I don't think that Tony or anybody over there who really, really knows baseball thinks that playing downtown at the new stadium is the answer. I just don't think you get a lot of students down there. I don't think you get the environment you do at an on-campus facility. If you ever had a chance to go to a game at Mississippi State or go to a game at LSU or go to a game at Arkansas, those environments are electric. Ole Miss, electric environments on campus at big, nice, plush stadiums with all the amenities. That's what they got to do at Lindsey Nelson. They got to take that left field all the way down with not bleachers, but stands. They got to put in, I'm not talking about wooden bleachers. I'm talking about luxury suites and boxes, that type of thing there in the outfield and left field, sort of like what Mississippi State has now. I think they got to finish and spruce up down the first base line all the way down through there and really make Lindsey Nelson Stadium among the nicest stadiums in the league. I'm not saying the nicest, but certainly one of the top 5 or 6. I mean, Florida's new stadium is tremendous. But they've got to at least give Tony or whoever's coaching at Tennessee a chance. I mean, because right now, facility-wise, Tennessee's going to a knife fight with a paper sword. And yet he's still bringing in good players. He's developing players. So that's the first thing they got to do. I don't know how much that takes, Ben. Does it take $20 million? Does it take $25 million? But I think there are some people. Who have enough respect, and they see what Tony has done, who've already been willing to step up and say, I'm willing to give this, I'm willing to give that. And I think for Danny White, it's important to go to the president and everybody else and say, this is what we got to have. This is the way we do it. If we want to take baseball to the next level, we got to make our own campus stadium at least up there with some of these others. Money-wise, Tony's going to get a raise. I don't think that's no big secret. What's Tony making now, Ben? You probably know $600,000-700,000.
$600.
Yeah. So I think you got to take him over $1 million for sure. But I think more important to Tony is take care of his staff. Take care of Frank Anderson. Take care of the guys on his staff financially. Make sure you lock those guys in, and pay them accordingly to the jobs they've done. And I think other player amenities. When you go on campus to visit, when a player comes on campus, what are grandparents and parents and brothers paying attention to, Swain? They're paying attention to player amenities, right? Locker rooms, team rooms, the training room, weight room, batting cages, all those things like that. Now, Tennessee has done some work in some of those areas, but there's more to do. And I think, anything they can do over there to make that a destination program, when people come on campus and say, wow, look at the stadium, look at the player amenities. These guys are serious about college baseball. Yeah, they gave their coach a big raise because they know what a commodity Tony Vitello is. So it's up to Danny White and the powers that be there at Tennessee right now to not just talk about it, but to do it and show people, you know what? It's important enough to us to make Tennessee a destination baseball program.
So when you say go to Mississippi State Stadium and Ole Miss Stadium, that requires actually being in Oxford and Starkville, right?
Correct.
I don't know about that one.
That would be 100% correct, Swain.
Any way that we can go to the stadium but not go to Starkville? I just said.
See, there you are. See, you've gotten so big now that you like to crack on other schools in the SEC. You used to not be like that, Swain.
I'm just proud of Knoxville. I'm just proud of the city that I live in, and I know it's superior to places like Starkville that only have one street light.
Well, I tell you this, Starkville, and this is just showing my age. I can remember a time when you went to Starkville, Mississippi, to cover a football game, and I think the only motel, not hotel, but motel in town was the old Bulldog Inn. That you kept your eyes open all night because things were scurrying around in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And there were no restaurants. I don't even know if there was McDonald's. There was nothing there. It's gotten a lot better. There's a few nice restaurants, Harvey's, and the baseball stadium. I'm telling you is absolutely great, and the environment there is great. They even have a Hilton Garden Suites there in Starkville now, Swain.
Man, they stepping it up.
But it's come a long way from where it was in the late '80s and early '90s. But no, I don't know that I want to spend any extended vacation time there in Starkville, Mississippi.
If they're lucky, Chris, they might get a Piggly Wiggly.
A Dollar General.
Oh, they got plenty of those, man.
There used to be a steakhouse. I don't know if it's still there, right outside Starkville, that John Ward absolutely loved. Every time Tennessee would go to play Mississippi State in football or basketball, Ward would always take he had an entourage, sort of like you, Swain. His entourage was small, 2 or 3 people. And he'd take them to Richie's. Have you ever been to Richie's? Best steak I've ever had. And that was his place. I don't know if it was right there in Starkville, it was just outside Starkville. But he loved that place.
Chris, I don't know if you're willing to answer this. You can sidestep it if you want. What is, if ESPN tells you you're going to this SEC city, what is the city that is going to bring on the least amount of excitement? Is it Fayetteville, Arkansas? Is it Starkville?
Fayetteville's beautiful.
Is it Oxford? Or is it Columbia, Missouri?
Probably dump Gainesville. You know it's Gainesville, Chris.
Well,
you know how weird it is to see
those,
grown hairy men with Daisy Duke jorts on and mullets. You know how uncomfortable that makes you when they sitting up next to you. You know how uncomfortable that is.
Well, I'd say
like
this
Gainesville.
first. I've been to all those towns, all right? And I think you could sit back. I could honestly sit back and poke holes in every single one of them, all 14, which fans do. I mean, fans poke at Tennessee, Hillbillies, and the whole Rocky Top song and all the Puka.
Watch it, Chris. You live in Knoxville.
Remember Sean Young? What was Sean Young? The great Sean Young recruiting story, Swain?
No, I don't remember that one, man.
He grew up just across the border over in I think Dalton, Georgia. His dad and family, I think, big Bulldogs. Tennessee got him. He was a big recruit, big-time recruit. And this is back before the internet. I remember calling his dad, trying to find out if he committed to Tennessee or not. Called the house. His dad, Sean had an older brother, too. I don't think he came here. He may have played at Georgia. But he was one of the top offensive line recruits, certainly in the South. And I'll never forget calling the house that Sunday night right after the visit. And I said, I was looking for Sean. This is Chris Lowe, the Tennessean. He said, Sean ain't here. This is his dad. And I said, well, sir, I was trying to find out if, I know he was in Tennessee on a visit this week, if he did indeed commit to Tennessee. He sort of sighed, and he said, yeah, came walking in here with that wearing that puke orange. So I guess that's where he's going. It's the only time I think ever in my career, I've been in the business 36 careers, that I got puke and copy. So my point is, fans all poke holes at each other's towns. I think probably Starkville and Columbia, Missouri would be the two that, if I had assignments, that I wouldn't be necessarily jumping up and down to go to. But I mean, I've been to both and had good meals at both and had some good times. But there's a lot of towns a lot alike. Oxford is. I mean, the square at Oxford is awesome. You mentioned Oxford. I mean, if you ever had a chance to sort of hang out on the square there at night and eat at Ajax Diner, or go to the famous Taylor Grocery and eat. I mean, there's a pretty cool vibe there at Oxford. I mean, Georgia, the party scene downtown at Georgia is pretty cool.
Do they have the internet in Starkville?
They have hotels. A nice hotel now.
Told you, they got a Hilton Garden Suites now, Swain. We got to get you out more. We got to broaden your horizon.
We need to get Swain. Chris, I need help. We need to talk Swain when Tennessee gets back to being Tennessee one day, going to Tuscaloosa for a Tennessee-Alabama game.
Oh, I'd love to get Swain back in Alabama, back in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Tuscaloosa is another town that's grown. Got a lot of great. I mean, if you love ribs, obviously there's 2 or 3 great places to eat ribs there. Even Auburn. See, I remember Auburn.
I can make ribs at home,
had,
Chris.
I know.
I'm good.
I know, but there, you got to branch out. And you got to try different ribs to sort of see how good they really are there at Daddy. It just sort of drives home how great the food and ribs are there at Daddy.
I understand. I just don't need to go to Tuscaloosa for.
But Auburn's another place. I mean, I can remember going to Auburn in the '80s, mid '80s, and I literally think there might have been one hotel, the Best Western, there in Auburn. You got off the interstate through 85, and you drove into Auburn, and there was virtually nothing there. I mean, I think you had Toomer's Corner there. You could still get your lemonade, and but it's grown. It's grown, and it's a great place to be on game weekends. I mean, the atmosphere, especially for night games and all weekend, people coming in tailgating with their RVs. I mean, there's so many good things about SEC football. SEC fans don't realize how good they got it. Because you go to other locales in the country, ACC, for instance, some parts of the Big Ten, Pac-12, even some of the Big 12 venues and places to go. Now, they're in bigger cities. TCU's in Fort Worth, but and I'm not throwing off on TCU, but I'm just sort of, it doesn't have to be a big city to have a good time and to really soak it in. And you really can go to just about any SEC venue on a game weekend.
I'm
not saying I want to go spend 4 or 5 days in June in Starkville or Columbia, Missouri, or Auburn, Alabama. But you know what? Somebody living in Auburn or Starkville or Oxford may not want to come to Knoxville for 4 days in June.
Oh, they're losers.
Other than the fact they get to listen to you every day, because they can already listen to you on the app.
They can listen to me anywhere on the freaking moon, man, as long as they got the internet.
We have somebody listening in Korea, Swain, or Chris.
They might get to see you, Swain. If they come to here, here's the thing that would be the plus, is they might get to see you at Dead End Barbecue. They might actually get to see you in the flesh, see your autographed picture there on the wall.
Oh, gosh.
Number one.
Now, Chris,
hey, maybe even Adrian, Ari, and Audrey with you, which would be the real bonus.
Now, Chris, I don't know if you can talk about Swain's photo being up on the wall. I had Dead End last night, as a matter of fact. Had the Mac Attack with some brisket, and I looked there on the wall, and there's your photo twice
in the main
with
part of the
next to David Cutcliffe and Jeremy Pruitt and John Chavis and Philip Fulmer, Rick Barnes. I mean, you were on the coach's wall twice. So I don't know that you can be talking about Swain's photo being up on the wall at Dead End.
In the main part of Dead End.
Well, now, wait a minute. Where's Swain's photos back in the MVP room?
The MVP room.
Back where they have the private parties. You got the big TV. And they bring in the sort of the heavy hitters in there. That's where Swain's picture is.
Oh, gosh. No, thank you on an Auburn trip, man. I got enough trees and toilet paper at the house. I'm good. What do you think about Tennessee moving the game to Thursday? Tennessee and Bowling Green moving this game to Thursday. From your perspective, what are some of the advantages and disadvantages that you see?
With it being Bowling Green and not, Pittsburgh or Cal or, North Carolina, bigger Power 5 team, you sort of want that to be, especially being Josh's first game as head coach, you'd rather that be on a Saturday, where more fans are going to be able to get here. But I think the fact that it's on Thursday against a team that Tennessee clearly should beat, because that's not a game on Saturday, Swain, that around the country is going to generate much attention. Would you agree?
1,000%.
But on Thursday, everyone's jonesing for football, right, to start. That's the first part of the season. There are going to be more eyes on that game on a Thursday night, watching that game. As I said, it's Josh's first game. It's the first game of yet a new era in Tennessee football. There have been some, you go down through the years, there have been some memorable Tennessee games not played on Saturday. And I think, again, the fact that it's to open the season, you're not playing a Power 5 team. I think it helps. It helps Tennessee. Certainly, if they can play well, the offense comes out, and you sort of see Josh's handprint on it, and the way they play differently, up tempo, spread the ball around. You're going to have more eyes on you, I think, because it's played on Thursday in this situation.
Chris, we were talking earlier in the show, a listener, C-Mac, who, funny enough, he brought up a point about Tennessee, but he's an NC State fan. I thought that was pretty ironic. But he brought up the fact that, this past year we did not get to honor Johnny Majors, the way that he deserved to be honored. And now Pittsburgh comes to Knoxville, week 2. Do you think there's a chance that Tennessee tries to honor Johnny Majors along with Pittsburgh or something along those lines?
I sure hope so, and that'd be the perfect time to do it. Coach Majors means so much to both those programs. It'd be great. It's a great idea, and I know his former players would turn out in droves, on both sides of the equation. I'll never forget running into Tony Dorsett back in Orlando, Florida. It's been years ago. I don't know why I was there. Guys, this has been late '90s, and I went up. Just several people had gone up to talk to him, and he just raved about Coach Majors, what he meant to him and his career, and how awesome it was to play for him. But I think if you get that, if you're able to get a bunch of those players on both sides together, Ben, that'd be a terrific way to honor Coach Majors, his legacy, and what he, 2 places that he went to and took from, sort of bad situations to being nationally relevant. I mean, hell, he won a national championship at Pittsburgh, left Pittsburgh, as he would remind me often. Just won a national championship at Pittsburgh and had the talent to win a few more. But I came back home. I came back because they needed me. and of course, it took him a while. We all know that. It's not like he came right in and they were winning championships at Tennessee. But, boy, he got that program rolling and brought in great players there in the late 80s and all up into the 90s. And I'd love to see it, man. I know we all miss Coach Majors. The cool thing about Coach Majors is you could sit down and talk to Coach Majors for 30 minutes or longer. Of course, you never really had a lot of short conversations with him. He's one of those rare coaches certainly after he retired, that, a lot of coaches want to talk for like a minute or two and they want to go on about their business and watch film or whatever. Coach Majors would ramble on forever. If you ever got a voicemail message from Coach Majors, I hope you had a lot of tape remaining on your voicemail because they were long.
Man, I heard stories about that.
Yeah. I mean, I remember coming home back before I even had a cell phone. My wife, Julie, said, Kristen, you know a Coach Major or Coach Majors? I mean, because she didn't grow up in Tennessee. And I said, yeah. She said, he left a long voicemail on her telephone. And I went and listened to it. He was up in D.C. with his grandson, Brandon, and he gave me his whole itinerary for the day. They'd gone to the Smithsonian Institute. We're going to go see this and go see that. I mean, but going back to our original point, he loved history. And you could talk to him for 30 minutes, guys, and football would never even come up. He'd talk about his trip to Normandy. He'd talk about going to New York City, seeing a play. I mean, he was a very worldly guy, and just so fascinating to talk to because, and if he did talk about football, he'd talk about, his early years, his dad, coming to Tennessee and going to the payphone after his first practice there, down on the corner. Of course, it's not there anymore, but down the corner just below Neyland Stadium and calling his dad and said, guess what, Dad? They missed tackles in college too, after his first practice. But he was just so awesome to talk to. And he had a place he loved to go eat lunch in Knoxville. It was called the Lunch House out on Magnolia Avenue, an old white house, old white, building. And I think they, hence the name Lunch House. I don't even think they served dinner. But he loved to go there, and he'd always, when I went with him, he'd always order the vegetable plate. He'd get like 4 or 5 vegetables. They'd have to bring them on 2 trays. Soup beans, collard greens, green beans, whatever. And he just sit there and tell stories. And man, it was priceless. But Ben, that's a great idea, and I hope they are able to do something like that and honor Coach Majors because again, he is we've lost a lot of great ones. And when I say great, I mean great. People that bled Tennessee to the core over the last 10 years. And I'm not going to start naming them because I'll leave somebody off. But certainly Coach Majors is somebody that when you think of Tennessee, me being a graduate of Tennessee, my dad was a graduate of Tennessee. My son Adam is there in his 3rd year. Coach Majors is the kind of person that makes you proud to have that degree from Tennessee on your wall. So I pray that they do something like that to honor him now that we're starting to open up and we don't have some of the restrictions and regulations that held us down with COVID last year.
That's right, man. Well said, my friend. Well said. Man, appreciate you. Appreciate you coming on the show. It's been a while, man. It's been a while. Let's do it again.
Well, it's because, again, you're so tied up with, now not only you chauffeur and Ben around, you still got your own entourage. I know. I saw you, was it the baseball game or somewhere I saw you and you had all these people around you, and you're sort of sitting there in the middle. So I get it. I mean, when you're Hollywood Swain, it's like Ric Flair. Ric Flair once said that, yeah, he played the Ric Flair character, but down deep he really was Ric Flair. Same with you, Hollywood Swain. Yeah, you play the character on the radio, but that's sort of you, 24/7 Swain.
Interesting, Chris.
Now let's do it again soon. It's always good catching up. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm fired up about the baseball team. They're a fun team to watch play. And I love Tony's intensity, and I love the way the guys play for him and the way he sticks up for his players. I mean, when he feels like somebody gets robbed, Ben, you've been to a lot of the games, man. When somebody gets a bad call or there's a play at one of the bases that he doesn't agree with, he's right out there in the umpire's face.
Mm-hmm.
And players like that. They like when their coach fights for them. And he does that. He's been a breath of fresh air. Hey, and I'll leave you with this. Hey, John Curry hired Swain.
That's right, man.
So Curry hired Vitello.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Hart hired Rick Barnes. Danny White hired Josh Heupel. So the 3, Philip Fulmer hired Kelly Harper. So the 4 coaches in the men's and women's basketball programs and the baseball and the football program all hired by 4 different ADs. Let that set in.
Watch it, national media guy.
No, I'm just stating facts.
Hey. Hey!
That shows you the instability over there in the last few years. You got your 4 main coaches hired by 4 different ADs.
Chris, I know how you national media guys like to do it.
Hey, don't paint with a broad brush.
I'm just messing. I'm just
don't
messing
paint with a broad brush.
I'm just messing with you, man. I'm messing with you. No,
That
you're
gets us
you're
all in
right.
trouble when we do that, right?
Nah, you're right. You're right. I don't know which coach is going to be the most successful out of those 4, man. But yeah, you're right. They all hired
Probably
by
Rick Barnes
by different ads. I mean, the one that's most successful is the one who wins the championship. Tony Martello has a chance.
And I think off the field and court matter too. You know how you fit, rally the people in the community and the fan base, how you treat them, and I think they just want to know that they got a coach that's there, working their butts off to try to make Tennessee successful and doing it the right way and doing it because whether they're from Tennessee or not. Because they developed that that allegiance, that appreciation for Tennessee and its tradition and the fan base, and much the way you keep it to a football related analogy, much the way Coach Majors and Coach Fulmer did during that unbelievable football run.
Hey, true words right there, my friend. True words. Stay out of trouble, Chris. All right, can you do that for me, please?
I'll leave that to you, man. You're the one that's got a show every day. You're the one that shakes them all up.
Yeah, I'm staying out of trouble. I'm a good guy. All right, Chris. Much
All
love,
right.
my friend.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
See you. Chris Lowe, ESPN. Follow him at CLowe ESPN. How you feeling, Ben? You okay over there?
I feel great. Should I not feel great?
I just wonder. Just wondering how you feel. That's it, man. Checking in on you, man. Checking in on
feel
you.
good.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Why?
Don't mess that song up. Do not mess that song up. Volston 1017. Will Jeremy Pruitt be watching on Thursday night, or will he be fetching Derek Dooley's coffee? Jeremy Pruitt is winning right now.
Unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, he got embarrassed. He's fired, but like he got a job in 5 minutes. Like he ain't broke. Yeah, he gonna miss out on a lot of money because of being fired for cause, but he's gonna stick in the NFL, and he gonna be all right. He gonna be okay. John K., South Carolina. Swain, Dreamland Barbecue is great in Tuscaloosa. Probably the only thing there. Listen, I've been in Dreamland before, Tuscaloosa. I've been to Dreamland in Birmingham. I've been to Dreamland in Huntsville.
It's overrated.
Dreamland in Tuscaloosa is obviously better than the one in Birmingham and Huntsville. But Ben said it. It is
Overrated. What's the other one? The other one's overrated too. What's the other one in the state of Alabama? The big
Archibalds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I went to the one in Tuscaloosa when I went down for my buddy's graduation, and I mean, I'm talking about Dreamlands. That is, I was confused as to what the hype was all about.
Well, like years ago, I thought it was cool that they would let you sit down and they would give you some white bread and some barbecue sauce. Oh man, that's cool, man. It's an appetizer. Now it's ghetto. It's pretty ridiculous. It's cheap. Why am I paying for white bread? This is terrible.
I did not expect you to say ghetto.
I'm just saying, man. It's terrible. 865-255-03. Ball fan says he's really trying hard not to answer the question. Force Chris Lowe to pick a city. He said Starkville.
He came back around Starkville and Columbia.
He said. Terrell said he said a few nice restaurants and said Hardee's. Oh man. Big Biz James says Starkville, believe it or not, is fun. Oh, well, you gave me a choice. I'm choosing not to believe it. Big James, I do not believe that. That is a lie. What are you doing in your life? Your life must be boring, Big James. Big Biz James, if you think Starkville's fun. Look at me over here talking stuff I ain't even been to Starkville before.
I've never been. I almost went to the 2012 Tennessee-Mississippi State game. CP had that kick return for a touchdown. Dooley had to be wheelchaired everywhere.
Oh, I remember him sitting on the steps in pregame.
Yeah,
looking sad.
Glad I didn't go to that game.
I knew he was gonna lose that game. I saw that picture of him when they showed that shot of him in the wheelchair on the steps. Oh no, we can lose in this game. Look at us. Look at our coach. Look at our coach.
Oh, that was almost 10 years ago.
When I saw Butch sneak up and spoon Derek Mason at the 50-yard line, I thought we was going to lose that game too. Didn't we wind up losing that game? Didn't we lose that game?
What year was that?
There's signs that tell you pregame, like, you're losing this game. You're losing this game. Coach spooning the
Just
other
like
coach. Oh, yeah.
Virginia Tech
we're not ready to play.
Virginia Tech knew that they were losing when that video of Darrell Taylor went around.
Absolutely. When Darrell Taylor says, we going to whoop that blankety blank. Oh, Vols by 50. Vols by 50. I knew.
Now, there was a time where the pregame signs lied. The Music City Bowl, when there may or may not have been some people laughing at Butch's pregame speech.
Oh, I got your back.
Yeah. Tennessee was able to overcome.
That was just talent. Talent won that game.
Derek Barnett. That was the Derek Barnett sack record game
just,
against the Cornhuskers.
That was just talent.
They were able to overcome the silliness of pregame and win.
Yeah, that was. Hewitt says, have y'all mentioned that Ohio State plays Minnesota on the same Thursday night? Absolutely. Hewitt, I don't know if you're saying that as a pro for Tennessee or against Tennessee scheduling this game, but I mean, this narrative that Tennessee is so desperate for exposure, they got to move it on a Thursday. And a program like Tennessee shouldn't have to move a game on Thursday. Ohio State's doing it, and they're better right now. So that kind of kills that argument really quick. Chatvall 18, quote, I need some new draws. You too, Chatvall? Or he just quoted me? I mean, who doesn't need new draws? Any day is a good day to get new draws.
Yes. Draws are expensive, though.
Yeah, but I mean, why wouldn't you not want to get new ones?
At least the draws I wear.
That's nice to know, Ben.
I mean, you walk around in your robe, pumping gas this morning in your robe.
That is a true story. That is not fake.
Swain, the past 2 days, has picked me up in his robe. Now, thankfully, he's wearing clothes underneath, but still.
Yeah, man.
What grown man wears a robe out?
A man that's going right back to the house.
The same man that makes fun of people for wearing a jersey.
No.
Yes.
I said, I'm not wearing a jersey, but you can.
But you secretly judge.
Nah. You don't know what I'm thinking.
You just raised your nose at it just now when you said that.
No. But I did pick you up with the robe. See, what happened was y'all let the media hype y'all up, and you went out and got all the gas yesterday. I got in the car and my gas light on. My gas light wasn't even on yesterday. I think my gas light listening to news and stuff too, and like I had plenty of gas yesterday. I got into the car this morning. I think somebody stole my gas last night. That's what happened. I think someone ciphered gas out of my car last night because I had plenty of gas last night. Anyways, so I get in the car. I gotta go chauffeur Ben around. I gotta go pick him up. So I pick up Ben, and I'm like, hey, let me go over here to this Y, go see what's going on. I didn't even pull in. I saw nothing but signs on the pump. I knew what the deal was. So I said, let me hit up Samuels. Let me see what Samuels was talking about. So I pulled into Sam's. Oh my goodness. Just an open gas pump. I filled my thing all the way up, man. Filled it all the way up.
In your robe.
I took the robe off to get out of the car. I took the robe off. I didn't want to, but I didn't want anybody taking any pictures. That would have been embarrassing. Can't live that down.
I was definitely going to.
865-250-503. Hour 3 coming up.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at GarzaLaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help. Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
It's a new season, which means it's time to rep your team in new ways with gear from Game Time Sidekicks. Rep the Vols with every sip with a new tie-dye tumbler or bottle. They also have a new NFL Players Association product line, so you can support your favorite VFL on Sundays. Want to put your own flair on a tumbler? Game Time Sidekicks has you covered with options to add your own text or even a monogram on the back of your favorite team tumbler. To check out everything that Game Time Sidekicks has to offer, go to GameTimeSidekicks.com. Carry your team with Game Time Sidekicks.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Hour 3 here on the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. One thing you're not going to do, Ben McKee, you're not going to be talking about my robe like that.
I like your robe. I just think it's funny that you wear it out and about.
This robe was a present for my family for Christmas. You know what makes it the best? You know what separates this robe from other robes? Huh, Ben?
That it's Chicago Bears blue?
No. It has a hood.
It's ghetto.
It's a hood, man. It has a hood. Look at that. Look at that. Look like dude from Star Wars. Look at that.
What's the dude's name?
I don't know. I don't follow Star Wars. Not on the 4th of May. Not any day. I don't know.
What about the 12th of May?
I have no clue. No clue. I know about some Yoda. That's about it.
You look like Yoda.
I almost said your mama. But I know your mama, and I like your mama, and I can't say that because that would offend her, and I care about her feelings. All right, let's go to the phone. Let's get the Nilla Mafia.
Good morning, gentlemen.
What's up, man?
Long time no call.
I know, man. We missed you.
It may be entirely too late to toss this theory out or anything, but just hear me out for a second. We've got the whole thing about, do we build a new stadium downtown? Where's it going to go? What do we do with Lindsey Nelson? And what if we put Lindsey Nelson on the ground and built a brand new stadium on campus? Instead of the Vols playing in the Smokies Stadium, the Smokies played in the Vols Stadium. You wouldn't have to allocate any more resources for parking. You've already got tons of existing parking on campus. The minor league season, which goes in...
Where's this parking?
All the football garages.
Okay.
For the minor league season extends well into late summer, So the students return to campus. You've still got plenty there. You've got a tailor-made crowd. Instead of having to worry about how to bus students or whatever up to the game, they walk there. The existing citizens of Knoxville can come and park in all the football garages. They're right there. You have one of the biggest, nicest stadiums in the SEC with the existing plans for everything that they were going to make. And instead of kind of the tail wagging the dog, i.e. a minor league team getting the really new fine stadium and Tennessee considering playing in it, why doesn't the biggest game in town, the Vols, get the big fine stadium on campus and allow the Smokies to play there? I mean,
I'm with you up until I'm with you on the tearing Lindsey Nelson down and building a new stadium. I'm not with the whole minor league. Well, not that I'm against it, but I don't think the university would go for that because minor league season goes into the first week of September, and they probably don't want that crowd mingling amongst students for a month and a half. And in regards to the parking garages, faculty park there during the day and whatnot during the summer, and you also have students on campus using that to park for class and whatnot. So I don't know that you could make that work from a planning standpoint in terms of the Smokies playing there. I also don't think that there's enough room in that part of campus to build a legitimate minor league baseball stadium.
Yeah, I say get rid of the butt chuggers.
That big?
Make some room.
What's that?
Are the plans? I mean, is this sprawling facility going to be that big? I mean, it just seems to me, in the final analysis, to be counterproductive to build two stadiums. Because here's my take: minor league baseball comes and goes. Now, I understand the Smokies are, kind of a fixture and all that, but minor league teams close and move all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have this facility with nobody in it, whereas if it's on campus, it's always used. And you can use it for other events right there on campus because the last I checked, we had a Garth Brooks concert in Neyland Stadium. We have concerts, conventions, everything all the time in Thompson Bowling. I mean, it's literally right there. And, I mean, how many faculty, if we can get parking to get 100,000 people in Neyland, surely we can get enough parking for a few faculty, a few students over the summer, and I don't know what, 10, 15,000 baseball at max on a sellout game.
I wonder how it would look to tear down the stadium and build it from scratch, and where would they play for? Where would they play? How fast would you get it up? Do you have enough room to do what you want to do? I do, and I was joking around a couple days ago about, playing in the downtown stadium. There's nothing that's going to replace a stadium on campus and having students be able to walk. I mean, nothing replaces that. I don't care how big of a stadium you build downtown. But I would like to see, Lindsey Nelson, renovated to the point where like it's not even recognizable. I mean, that would be fantastic, and I think that would be ideal.
So anyway, that was my theory. Instead of trying to have literally two stadiums, a brand new one and then one completely renovated, have one that is absolutely the best of the best, and have it right there on campus. Anyway, my 2 cents, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Thank you. I think it sells more when you have your own. Like I always wonder, like how do the Pittsburgh Panther football players feel? Like you play in Heinz Field and you share stuff with the Steelers. And
I know it's great. Legends play there,
but it's not yours.
But it's okay because they feel invincible because they are playing where so many great legends played.
I mean, I know they look up to Antonio Brown and everything. I'm just saying, like, it's not theirs.
Yeah, it is weird. In a perfect world, Lindsey Nelson gets renovated. I wish that they would tear it down and start from scratch so that we don't have to look at that ugly entrance anymore. That to me would be the benefit of starting from scratch.
TennesseeFund.org.
I'll go give them 5. But like the renovation plans and photos that I've seen, like the stadium's gonna look nice. Like it's gonna look much different. It extended down the left field line. The porch is going to be like a double deck porch, very similar to what Chris was talking about Mississippi State having in left field, if not looking even better. So there's like going to be massive renovations to Lindsey Nelson if things get approved and whatnot, and it'll look nice, but you're still going to have the front of the stadium looking the way that it is. And to me, the only way you fix that is by starting from scratch. I'm no architect, but
that should be easy, man. You can call Chip and Joanne Gaines and hook that up. I think, but you don't have a lot of room wide, but one thing you do have is you have room vertically. Like you can always go up. So let's build this thing like Top Golf.
Yeah, but the problem is the front of it looks ugly as sin.
Hey man, just plant some flowers.
No, that's why it looks the way that it does, because that's what everybody's been saying the last decade. Oh, just plant some flowers, it'll be okay.
I don't think that's hard to spruce up though. Because look at Neyland Stadium. Like Neyland, like walk around the front,
and then walk around the back.
Correct. So like Neyland looks really, really good in the front, but we're talking about some brick and some things here and there, and it looks totally different. It looks, a lot better. Or even inside of the stadium, with the brick around the stadium, like they did a really good job, but it doesn't take a lot to do that. So I don't think that would be crazy to make Lindsey Nelson look better in the front. Like I don't think it would take a lot. It was a decision not to before.
To me, to get it to where it needs to be, it needs to be just completely redone. Like the front of baseball stadiums is it's a thing in most places. Like that's supposed to be the prime thing people look at. It's supposed to be a grand entrance into the stadium, and then the stadium opens up and you see this beautiful baseball diamond, the grass and the dirt. And it's all cool and whatnot. To be on par with these other stadiums in the SEC, it needs to be completely redone. It doesn't need to be, touched up. It needs to be completely redone.
You do have an AD that's done it before, been part of a administration as a senior assistant at Ole Miss when Ole Miss did their renovation. So, got some experience.
Yeah, the last thing I'll say before we get to Volstorm is in a perfect world for Tony Vitello, he has the new downtown stadium at arm's length. He can play a couple games there throughout the year, do some fun things within that stadium. He said publicly a wood bat tournament while wearing throwback uniforms to the Rod Delmonico era. He wants to do cool things like that throughout the year. He wants to have that stadium at arm's length, but he wants to also have the on-campus environment that has been created. He wants that to be theirs and their own home. So in a perfect world, you have that downtown stadium at arm's length, and then you play throughout the season on campus at a renovated Lindsey Nelson Stadium with expanded seating. You add suites and just a renovated Lindsey Nelson Stadium that is working towards being on par with the rest of the SEC.
Let's get to Volstorm. Volstorm, good morning, sir.
Boys, there's been a whole lot of exaggerations and fabrications on the show this morning.
What are you accusing us of, Volstorm?
Moff, when's the last time you tried to park on campus?
Hey man, I was wondering what the Mafia was talking about these parking spots.
There ain't no parking spots. The parking garages are filled up.
Yeah, when I go to a game, I see frat boys charging $35 to park in their front yard. That's what I see.
I have to park about 5 miles away. It seems like for $20.
Man,
and if you can find $30 parking, you are winning. But you're also having to walk a country mile to get to the stadium.
Yes.
I mean, you're practically parking under 40.
But we're talking about the difference between 100 and some thousand people trying to go to one place and between 5 and 10. So
That's true.
It should be a little bit easier to park.
That is true.
Yeah, but during the school year,
yes,
you've got you got students on campus, you got faculty, you got more issues than just attendance.
Is the game played at 1 o'clock or is the game played after 5 when faculty and them
There's night
leave?
classes.
Yeah, but ain't that many.
Still spots, and then you have to worry about professional baseball players that are they'll be on campus all day.
I mean, you have basketball games at 7 o'clock and stuff like that.
But the Memphis Grizzlies ain't coming over here to play.
No, I mean you could parking ain't terrible. Shouldn't be terrible for baseball like it is for football because there's less people in the stadium.
It wouldn't be terrible. It's just a headache not worth dealing with.
It's definitely a headache.
Exactly.
Ain't no doubt about that.
And only Chris Lowe would try to pump up Starkville.
Trying to be nice, man. ESPN, pays the bills, so you can't be dissing up on Starkville.
They have a new hotel.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. To counterbalance Chris Lowe, why don't you get Chris Treese on and have him talk about Starkville?
Oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Volstorm, when you gonna let me borrow a bag of gas?
It's gonna cost you.
I need a bag of gas. Volstorm, you got any bags of gas
Man,
left over?
The wife's car was on empty, and I go to get gas, and I'm like, oh my Lord.
Where'd you go?
I went to a pilot off of Middlebrook, and it was all the gas pumps were full. You had people waiting behind them. This was probably about 6 o'clock.
My goodness.
Next time you complain about big time boosters, I'm going to remind you that in a time of need, you fell back on Mr. Haslem.
Hey man, we forgive and forget.
That's right.
Hey man, we moving forward together.
Hey, in times of crisis, we pull together. That's why we're volunteers.
That's right. Hey, we was mad at you for Shiano stuff, but we gotta come together. We gotta come together if we're gonna move forward. We need Haslam's money now. We can't just say no to Haslam now. His money's important.
Guys, about moving the game to Thursday, I don't understand what the big deal is. I can kind of see it from the standpoint of people coming from out of town, and but shoot, just make it an extended weekend. It's Labor Day weekend anyway.
Like I understand it. I understand folks saying,
and I don't care about Ben's sleep.
No, I don't either. But I understand folks who it may inconvenience a little bit more. That's cool. But why are you getting on Twitter spewing
negative energy?
Why are you that mad? Why you at a 10? Why are you that mad and spewing venom over something that is going to help the team? You complain and bitch and moan that Tennessee is not good, but they're making a move that's going to serve multiple purposes, and one of those is getting 2 extra days of preparation time against a team that could beat you in Pittsburgh. So, at least think about that. Okay, it may be inconvenient for you. Cool, whatever. It is for me too. It is for Ben. But you get 2 extra days against Pittsburgh. And I remember when Tennessee, Dave Hart and Butch Jones, as boring and terrible noon games are, especially SEC noon games, they preferred to do that in 2013 against South Carolina because it was going to help them win. Robert Gillespie knew that Steve Spurrier teams, because he was there, start off slow. So that was the move. That was a strategic move made to try to win. That's all we're doing here too, on top of getting exposure.
People are trying to use the argument of, this is a gimmick, blah, blah, blah. Do you see where our football program is right now? We need all the help we can get.
In Volstorm, what's so crazy about it? It's wrong. It's not a gimmick. Ohio State's doing the same dang thing. The gimmick? You wanna be out in front. You want people to see your program, whether you are a program that desperately needs good exposure because you don't have a lot of good exposure, or you're a team that has a lot of good exposure and you want more exposure. You can never have too much exposure.
Yep. And I was at that Fresno State game watching people pass out, watching them run out of water. Noon on the beginning of September is not a good place to be in a stadium.
Exactly. So, Volstorm.
Yeah.
Are you a big Tom and Jerry fan?
Oh, yeah. I love Tom and Jerry.
So, like, my youngest loves Tom and Jerry. She sits there. I don't understand it. No one's talking except for, the big back lady that hits Tom with the broom. She's the only person that talks. But the rest of the time is just music playing. And she sit there for hours. She just watch, Tom just trip over himself and Jerry mess him up. Well, I watched it as a little kid. It's like it doesn't age at all. Well, there's a time when Jerry must have really messed up Tom, and like Tom's body, the spirit of Tom left his body to go to heaven.
Yes.
I saw that in 2003 at the Fresno State game. I saw people's spirit leave their body. It was so hot. Like I saw that. Like I saw folks like floating to heaven. It was that hot. It was that hot. Why would anybody want to do that?
No. No. After that, I was like, I'm going to check the weather. Whenever they had noon games after that, I was like, if it's too hot, I ain't going. I ain't set through that again.
I don't get it, man. Who wants to sign up for that? But whatever.
Guys, before I go, just remember that the McRib on the Tuscaloosa McDonald's value menu is not considered good barbecue. See you, boys!
That's right. I bet they love it down there.
Man.
Well, ribs without bones, it's easy to eat for those who don't have teeth. So
I went to, after the JG fumble game in Tuscaloosa 2 years ago.
I don't want to talk about that.
I went to a McDonald's in Tuscaloosa afterwards.
What?
It was the worst experience I've ever had at a McDonald's. You know how much that says about that McDonald's? That McDonald's gave me the worst experience ever. Swain, I was handing out bags of food to people. It was so packed and ridiculously crowded that I was having to call out people's names to help speed up the process because the people that worked there would just put the bag of food on the counter and not tell whose it was.
I got an email, man.
And they got a bunch of things wrong.
McDonald's says they want to advertise.
I don't give a dadgum. that McDonald's in Tuscaloosa sucks. It's the worst one I've ever been to.
It's the best McDonald's ever.
This was after I had just watched, within a 5-minute span, JG fumble at the goal line and Aroldis Chapman give up a home run to Jose Altuve to eliminate the Yankees in Game 7 of the ALCS, a game away from the World Series.
I'm loving it. Make sure those checks clear.
Worst experience I've ever had at that McDonald's in Tuscaloosa. It was a house full of bums.
Always Vol says the hotels are cheaper right now because it's not on the weekend. How about that? Yeah, there's a positive. Darth Vol says, should have seen it in Morristown yesterday. Lines, people are crazy. ATL VFL says baseball just doesn't generate the revenue to spend tens of millions to redo.
Every other school in the SEC does it. Why can't Tennessee?
Redo. Renovate. Redo is like redo, tearing it down and redoing it. Renovate is, renovating.
Even renovating, Tennessee's going to be behind the 8 ball.
Yeah, I mean, definitely got to renovate.
Regardless of whether you redo or renovate, whatever word you want to use, other SEC schools do it. There's not a single baseball program in the country that generates a profit. But other people care about baseball. Why can't Tennessee?
All right. What ATL VFL is talking about, tearing it down, doing Texas A&M. We ain't doing that. But Tennessee baseball definitely deserves.
Why not? Alabama did it. Kentucky did it.
Tear it down the baseball stadium all the way?
Yes, and built a brand new spanking stadium that is as good as any minor league stadium in the country. Alabama did it. They have not been successful at baseball. Kentucky did it. They have not been successful at baseball.
But do it then.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I don't know how much it costs, to be honest.
I mean, Alabama dropped like $40 million. Kentucky dropped like $50 million.
Hey, Coach Fulmer and Kevin Steele, we're going to need to borrow some of that money back. You ain't spent it all yet, did you?
Pruitt
ain't getting no money yet. Hey, man, we're going to need to borrow. We're going to get some of that buyout money back. Remember that money I let you borrow? I need to borrow it back. I'm going to need that. Got some bills to pay. Who's on the phone?
Big Shot Rob.
Big Shot Rob. Good morning, sir.
My man, what's going on?
My man, what's up, man? Thanks for calling.
Man, I had to tell you this story that just happened to me, man. I almost lost my mind.
What happened?
Check this out. So I'm sitting at a red light, right? I'm leaving PT, and it's this homeless dude, right? And I got a couple dollars in my wallet. So I reach in my wallet to grab my couple dollars, and he sees my Tennessee tag on my truck. Tell me why this man had the nerve to Florida chomp at me. Florida chomped at me. I said, you know what? Today is the day. To the hell with you, because it's always going to be blankety blank them Gators. And I drove off and rolled my window up. I ain't even give him the dollar, Swain. He had the nerve.
I wouldn't give me
so
anything.
Florida chomped me, and you asking for money? I said, man, you done lost your doggone mind, man.
I wouldn't have gave me anything.
I sure didn't. It's always going to be blankety blank them Gators, man. Always.
Always.
But anyway, I just wanted to call in and tell y'all that, man. Love the show. Always good to hear from you, man. I'm going to hang up and listen. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. I would have made him sing Rocky Top for $10.
You want this money? Start singing.
Mm-hmm. You about to put up a performance for this money. I want you to sing Rocky Top. You want to be petty, Gator Chomp? Sing Rocky Top right now. And then he pulls out his brand new iPhone 12. Look up the lyrics. Now, wait a minute now. How you got an iPhone 12? iPhone 14 ain't even came out yet. You know there's professional homeless folks, right?
Yes.
I just want to make sure you understand that.
Maybe I should start doing that. I want to make another point that I've been trying about in terms of baseball money going towards the baseball program. I've been meaning to make this point for a couple weeks now because I thought of it one weekend and just forgot to bring it back up. Vaughn Birmingham mentions it on the text box. Alabama has won at football, which has increased everything around the whole university. The only reason they built that stadium, they need something to spend money on. That is absolute facts.
Yeah.
If Tennessee football was winning at the rate that Alabama is, or even heck, it doesn't even have to be that extreme.
Half of the rate.
Georgia or Clemson or Ohio State, if they were just simply winning, and generating half the money that Alabama is, to your point, then it would be much easier. Because also what comes along with not winning like Alabama, not generating that type of money. On the flip side of that, which is this is Tennessee's problem and what you spoke about last week or the week before, it was last week, you're having to pay a bunch of coaches instead. Instead of generating money, not only are you not generating money, but the money that you do have is being shelled out to the coaches that you've had to fire over the last several years.
That's what we mentioned the week we had Danny White on. All these things factor into it.
Sure would be a lot easier to shell out money to the baseball program if football was winning, because that is where the money's going to come from. It absolutely is. Now, it does help, as Chris Lowe mentioned, that there are increasingly more and more people who are willing to donate to the baseball program specifically because they love Tony, they like what Tony's doing, and they want to see the baseball program continue to be successful. And Chris mentioned like 20 to 25 mil. So that's good to see. But in order to potentially do what an Alabama did or a Kentucky did or anybody, like you do have to dip into the football fund, and it sure would be a lot easier to do that if the football program was winning at the rate that it should. And that's not just the baseball thing either. That's a athletic department as a whole thing. Winning would make it easier on the whole athletic department.
ATL VFL says we may sell more seats on the east side of Neyland on Thursday night too. No sun, like a Saturday afternoon. Daddy Vol says with the amount of neglect the stadium's had over who knows how long, I agree with Ben. Total rebuild, just tear it down. Memphis Jake says as far as Lindsey Nelson renovations go, model it after the Redbirds Park at Memphis. The front feels like an awesome pavilion with brick walkways and a column concourses. Gorgeous. Orange Arc says, I got to channel Coach Eckler for this one. The people complain and have their chili cold. They got a microwave that is to kill the negativity to get it hot. Like, and it's a small minority. It's a very small minority. For the most part, folks understand moving the game to Thursday. I'm not saying the Swain Event poll is like a representation of the entire fan base, but like you do understand this is kind of an example of what Danny White was referring to. Ouch! Sorry.
You're gonna make people mad, Swain.
But we need an example. Like you need an example. You need to point out an example when one is present, and here's an example. It's going to be inconvenient for some people. It's inconvenient for me. But just stop and think and weigh both sides of it before blurting out just the craziest stuff ever and making up theories and narratives that's just not true. It's a representation of where Tennessee football is to do a game on Thursday night. No, it's not. It's not. It's really not. Everybody wants exposure. It gives you two extra days of prep against the next opponent. It's actually pretty brilliant. When you think about it, it's actually a pretty good idea. So, and a good thing that Danny White told us that that whole neutral site game against West Virginia 40 years from now wasn't his idea, because I don't like it.
I didn't even know people were mad about that.
I mean,
like
I don't like it. I'm not going to agree with everything Danny White does. I mean, I don't agree with everything you do or say, and you don't agree with everything I do or say. But there's just a way to go about it. There's a way to handle it, and you can be respectfully, you can disagree respectfully, but like the venom and just the hatefulness, and I mean, some folks are just really miserable, it seems like. But you can understand and voice how inconvenient it is for you, but understand the bigger picture. That's all I'm saying. But this is an example of what Danny White was talking about.
People were like blaming Danny White for scheduling that neutral site game, and as he said on the show, when I asked him his opinion on playing neutral site games or home and home, kind of where he falls, he sidestepped the question, and that was fine. I didn't necessarily expect a straightforward.
Oh, he didn't.
Well,
he said that he didn't schedule that. He was trying not to throw people under the bus before him.
Yes. Well, he also answered the question without answering the question, because he talked about the importance of playing home games to local businesses and things like that. So technically he did answer the question without answering the question directly. But I asked that question, and I had several people on Twitter and on the text box, like, thanks for asking about that, because people were killing Danny White over him scheduling the neutral site game when it was already built in before he took the job. And people are just mad just to be mad because Tennessee football is losing right now. And I get it. It's frustrating. It sucks. But that doesn't mean we have to just spew venom and negative energy 24/7 at every single thing that comes with the football program. Like, the football program is going to continue to march on, march forward, and try to do its best part to get out of the hole that they're in. And it's different people trying to fix Tennessee football than the people who have ruined Tennessee football. So why do we continue to spew venom and negative energy and hate every single time a tidbit of news comes out?
Treat it like, what was it called, nitro or nitrogen, when you're playing race car games and like you're going really fast, but then like you have a little boost. You can decide to hit that boost and give you a little. It gives you a jolt and you can go a lot faster. Like I treat negativity like that. Like I only have a short amount, and I want to use it at the right time. Like I want to use it if Danny White goes in and slaps somebody, or he does something really really bad. I want to use it for then. Not this. It's not even worth it, and it's just wrong. All right, gotta take another break. Hour number 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Still got my robe on. Wow. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. Firms from Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham have stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local law firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. They are our neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy. Guys, your health right now is more important than ever. I recommend Low T Center. That's where I get my levels checked. It all starts with the annual wellness exam where they do a comprehensive health assessment exclusively for men, making it quick and easy to take care of your health. And now they offer monitored self-inject at-home testosterone treatment. Most insurance is accepted. Go to lowtcenter.com now to book your appointment and make your health a priority. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. Time for Around the SEC this morning. I appreciate the message on the text box for Chip Payne. Spot on. Says Swain looking like Uncle Elroy from next Friday with that robe on. That's spot on, Chip Payne.
Surprised there wasn't a Georgia reference in there.
I think Chip Payne ran out. He's been using him so long. I think he's ran out.
Well, Chip's not very diverse. He just says the same thing over and 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 over again.
But I do look like Uncle Elroy. The real Puff Daddy. All right, man. It's time for Round the SEC. What you got, Ben?
Fans are going to be very interested. Tennessee fans should be, at least, very interested in the fact that Kentucky is losing defensive backs coach and ace recruiter Steve Clinkscale to Michigan. Why is this significant? Not only is he a big piece to the puzzle there at Kentucky, so it's good that Kentucky is losing a significant staff member, but Clinkscale has also come into the state of Tennessee and snagged a couple players that Tennessee wanted, including this recruiting cycle in the Wade twins, Destin and Keaton Wade, who committed to Kentucky about a month ago. He was their lead recruiter, a big reason why they went to Kentucky. And now
I wish you would stop looking at me while you say this. Make me uncomfortable.
He's headed to Michigan.
You know why I think you're looking at me? Because that's the instigating pose you get into. It's your instigating stance.
It is. You're not wrong.
You do that when you're instigating. Like, I'm going to read this and I'm going to look over there at Swain and get him going. Yeah, I know this is going to get him going right here.
That is why.
Oh, I know he's going to throw some shade. Yeah, I'm going to set him up for this one. You ain't slick, Ben. I felt you looking at me. I saw you in my peripheral.
You what?
My peripheral. Like a point guard, man. I got eyes everywhere, man. I saw you looking at me, man.
So hopefully Tennessee can get in good with the Wade twins now.
Look at the camera. Stop looking at me, man. I don't care nothing about the Wade twins.
Here's another Tennessee or SEC note that should make Tennessee fans happy. Georgia guard KD Johnson is in the transfer portal. He averaged 13.5 points as a freshman this past season, shot 38% from the three-point line, and Tennessee fans should be happy about this because with KD Johnson transferring.
Boy, I thought you said Katie. Like Katie.
KD, like Kevin Durant.
Boy, I was like, what's his real name? They call him Katie? Like, what is that his nickname? Or
KD.
Like
D is in D's.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I know that.
KD's Johnson.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Is in the transfer portal, and now 7 of Georgia's top 8 scorers are transferring from Tom Crean's program.
How is Tom Crean going to use Dwayne Wade to help him recruit now? Hey, Dwayne, I know you're busy on TNT with Candace Parker and Shaq. I need you to make some phone calls for me. Wow,
indeed. So those were the 2 SEC notes that I had for you today, which is good news for Tennessee because Georgia basketball taking a big L as they have been all the time, and Kentucky taking a big L as well, and hopefully that leads to a Tennessee W here over the next couple of months. Now, the Wade twins were saying all the right things yesterday after the news was announced. Their hashtag BBN, Big Blue Nation. One of the Kentucky media members spoke with one of the twins and tweeted out a quote from them and said that we committed to a school, not a coach. So we'll see how long that lasts. A long way to signing day. I think Tennessee will have a shot there. We'll see. Now, this is something we should have brought up at the top of the show. Honestly, this is more important than Tennessee moving its game from Sunday to Thursday, and that is that Tennessee has become the 15th state to pass a NIL law, with Governor Lee signing HB 1351. The bill was amended just prior to final passage to become effective July 1st, 2021, instead of the original effective date of January 1st, 2022. So it's been sped up a year here in the state of Tennessee. Again, the NIL, name, image, likeness law that was signed by Governor Lee yesterday, and there's still some other political steps that it needs to take. Forgive me for not being up to date in that world, but the start date has been moved up on that bill from 2022 to 2021.
Oh, yeah.
So Tennessee is the 15th state to pass a NIL law.
Oh, yeah.
Which is huge.
Look around the SEC. You see states where the governor is an alum of that school, the state school, and he wants a recruiting advantage for his school because his coach can't deal with number one recruiting classes. All right, sorry.
Mary Smith still okay down there at Georgia?
Yeah, he's fine, man. I'm pretty sure the NCAA does not, he's probably going to have immunity or something, but, Anyways, I think that's what everyone's waiting to see what Congress is going to do, and NCAA is going to do, because you need to have a widespread rule in place, some guidelines in place, because if you don't, these states who have an interest, these SEC school states are moving this thing up to July 1st because they see the recruiting advantages that can provide. And everyone's kind of, just preparing, getting ready at the start line, just waiting on, the gun to go off so they can sprint. But there's still a lot to sort out. There's a lot of moving parts. Everyone is trying to construct their plans. But if Congress passes a widespread rule or law, whatever, for the NCAA, then everyone's going to have to abide by it as best as possible. And of course, people are going to play in the gray area. You gotta have that when you have rules with the NCAA. You got to be able to get as close to the line as possible without crossing it. So there's a lot of waiting and seeing. But regardless of what happens, I think Tennessee has an advantage that a lot of other schools and cities don't have when it comes to this. We can take this and it can really help rejuvenate, generate, revitalize the Tennessee football program, man. We got some advantages. We really do. And nothing's going to trump winning. You got to win. That's the number one remedy. But this bill could be a whole lot faster with this NIL if it's used the right way and we handle it the right way. So that is very noteworthy. Moving up the date there to July 1st to line up with some of the other states around us that have teams that we compete for on the field, off the field, and recruiting. 865-255-03. Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Reinventing men's healthcare. Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Be right back.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
Top 100 barbecue restaurant Dead End Barbecue is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering from Chow Now for pickup. Or if you don't feel like leaving the house, then have Dead End Barbecue delivered right to your door by Loco Knoxville or Bite Squad. There is no better restaurant in town to enjoy the madness of March with. Cheer on the Vols and the Lady Vols with the best barbecue around. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. I'm excited to share my new Keller Williams Realty app so you can tour homes without leaving yours. Not only can you search for homes in specific areas and neighborhoods, you can also have access to real-time market snapshots on stats like average home price and days on market, plus commute times from your office, school zones, and much more. Download my app today and get the most accurate information on buying, selling, and investing in real estate in your area. Just search for the Keller Williams Realty app and click on More in the lower right-hand corner. Type in Jennifer Morris in the Your Agent search bar, then save and you're set. And as always, feel free to reach out at 865-257-7897 or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com.
Is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you. Hello, is that as low as you can go? Okay, thank you.
What are you doing?
Calling around to get the best rate on a car loan.
Why? Everyone knows Alcoa 10 is the best choice to purchase a vehicle or refinance your current loan. And with low interest rates and 90 days to your first payment, it's a no-brainer. You can even apply online and sign all the documents from the convenience of your home.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Alcoa 10 Credit Union. It's so easy. Go to atfcu.com for details. Rates are dependent on credit score and equal housing lender.
More and more Tennessee businesses are switching to Iris Networks for reliable, local, high-quality, high-speed business fiber internet. Iris provides direct internet access from 10 megs to 10 gigs with no payments for 90 days. Iris also offers next-generation business phones with work-from-anywhere capability from the mobile or laptop app. With local sales, support, and service, Iris is a partner in the community. Learn more at irisnetworkusa.com or call 865-448-IRIS. Iris Networks, a Tennessee business connecting Tennessee businesses.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit. You get confused. You don't understand why. You start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
This for what? It's not from an article. It's a video that's going around. I saw it on Twitter yesterday, man. It is absolutely terrible. There's a video floating yesterday of a little league football practice, a football tackling drill. And man, them kids couldn't be no older than 7 or 8, and there was no form, lack of teaching the proper way to tackle, the safe way to tackle, and kid gets straight blown up. And that's for what? Those coaches get it for what? That conducted that practice with those young kids. And I mean, it went viral, man. A lot of NFL players commented on it. A lot of college fans and players commented on it. There's no reason to be hitting like that at that age. No reason. And if you are hitting, there's a different drill that you can do. It's important. As football is under attack by folks. There's no doubt that football is dangerous, and rules need to be changed, awareness needs to be brought to concussions, and care needs to be provided for folks that play football for a very long time. There's no doubt that needs to take place. While football's being under attack, it's even more imperative that the youth coaches are teaching the proper ways to tackle. Numbers of registration youth football is going down all over the place. And these bozos are allowing these type of practices to go on. And now a video is viral, which only will hurt the game of football even more at the youth level. So those coaches, man, they get it for what, man? They some bums, some clowns, some meat sticks. That's right. I just want to call somebody a meat stick. That's all. That's all. They're meat sticks. We should change the segment from for what to meat sticks. That's what we should do.
Or use both.
Or use both. Both is good too. That's a great option.
I know you like both.
Boy, stop. Chip Payne says, no more Georgia jokes. Me and Swain are friends now and possibly BFFs. Ben, go comb your hair. Oh, wait, you can't.
Yeah. Chip, you go comb your hair. Oh, wait, you can't.
Appreciate the message there, Vol, man. 90s Vol says, why in the hell is everything conspiracy? It wasn't the AD not caring about the common fan. It was about helping the football program. Yeah, people. That's what I'm talking about, going overboard. Like, you can be like, hey, man, it's not convenient to me, and I prefer Saturday games. But when you start accusing the AD of not caring about the common fan, that's when you're taking it too far. Like, yo, he's trying to help Tennessee win, so you can be happy. Woo. Jeffy Dean says, isn't Tennessee one of the most profitable athletic departments in the country? How do we have no money? Are all these articles about financials wrong? Consistently top 15 in the country. So it's not about how much you make, Jeffy Dean. It's about how much you keep. And because Tennessee has been a leader in buyouts over the last 10 years, you could have had a whole lot more than what you have right now. So you have to continue to build that reserve. And there's things that need to be replaced. You know, mentally, I think sometimes we're stuck in the last decade or two. Our facilities used to be the top of the top. It's not anymore. And as Alabama built a brand new baseball stadium, they were able to do that because of football success. And I wonder if Kentucky was able to do that with Kentucky basketball success. I don't know. But, like, all that stuff matters. So it's not that we're not making any money, or we don't have no money. You just need more. And when you get it, you just got to be smarter with it. And the previous regimes were not. So you have to continue to build up those reserves. So it's not about not making money. It's just about you want to be not just top 15, but you want to be top 5, top 10. So that way, if a coach is winning and deserves a raise and deserves stadium renovations and deserves the staff to be paid more, he deserves the players' lounge to be upgraded, you don't even have to worry. You just snap your finger and roll. Like, how great does it feel?
Great.
When you go to the grocery store and you just put stuff in the cart. You don't have to worry about how much it costs. Maybe you got a big time bonus, or maybe you got a big time job, or whatever. Like, you got your stimmy. You just put stuff in the car. You're not, let me worry about the price. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like we all go through, times in our life when, maybe financially we were better at this point versus another point. And there's moments when, like, the stress and the worry and the anxiety is not in place like it would be, 10, 15, 20 years ago, whatever point of life was where money was scarce to you. That's the same thing here. Like, you want to put yourself in a position as an athletic program to be like, you overachieved? Here's a bonus. Boom, because we can do it. Because we can, and not sneeze, and not worry about pulling here and robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you just don't worry about it. That's the level that we all want to be at. All want to be at. Because things happen. You save money because you never know. Knock on wood. Hopefully a tree doesn't fall in your car, or tire don't blow out.
Knocked on wood for you.
For a rainy day. So you just want to build those reserves up. That's all. Mafia is right. Juwan got screwed. He could have easily made 6 figures in his career if the NIL law had been in effect. Oh, yeah.
Now,
he would have got paid.
Do you think his outburst on Instagram would have affected his money any?
A little bit.
I mean, I still think he would have made a bunch of money.
Oh, absolutely.
During his time at Tennessee, but I could also see a business based off of some of the things that he said in that video not wanting that. And also the incident on the sideline.
Yeah, I mean, it'll affect his money. So, God, I know someone that's like, he still would have made money. Yeah, that's what we're saying. But would it affect his money? Absolutely, because PR wise, when something like that happens, you have to let things blow over, and so while you let things blow over, that's affecting your money. So you take a Trey Smith, who's not had any incidences, he don't need anything to blow over. Well, the Jawan Jennings, you take that, and I'm sure that would have affected his money a little bit. He still would have made a lot though. Still would have been able to do that. Oh, good question by ATL VFL. Do you think NIL will improve player behavior? 1,000%. I think coaches can use it.
It should
as a tool. The same way I use, hey, eat your food, or you get a dessert at the end after dinner. Eat your vegetables. Keep your room clean. Clean your room, and then maybe we'll go get some ice cream. Like, you use that as a tool. You use that as a you dangle that. And so if I'm a coach, like, think twice about decisions you make away from the complex, because you could be really messing up your money. Like, for real. Like, coaches would say, oh, you can mess up opportunity to get drafted, but like that's talk. Like, if you're a freshman and you hear that, you're like, oh, well, I mean, I don't have to worry about that until I'm a junior or senior. But no, this can mess up your money today. You could be a freshman like Jalen Hyde coming in and making some plays, and you have opportunity to make some money. But if you do something stupid, I don't want to endorse you. I don't want your name on my product. You're out here acting a damn fool. So I think it's true. Good point there from ATL VFL. All right, let me go take this roll ball. I might keep it on, man. It's kind of chilly outside.
You don't want to keep it on to give me a ride home?
Oh yeah, I'll give you a ride home in it. I ain't gotta make any stops. I already got gas. I'm good. I fill my gas tank up.
Don't you have to go drop off lunch?
Man, I can go through a drive-through for that.
See, what would you do without me? Helping you remember what you need to do.
I don't know if I need to drop off lunch or not. I got to check in with the boss lady. See if that's what I got to do.
I'm a free man until about 3 o'clock. The wife's sleeping. I ain't got to deal with her. Oh, did I say that? Oops. We got to go, Swain. See y'all tomorrow.
All right, you're going to get cut off. Tomorrow, 7 a.m., Swain Event will be back. Big thanks to Chris Lowe for joining the program. For Ben McKee and Jason Swain, the Swain Event Fueled by Daddy and Barbecue, live here from the Low T Center Studio. Hope you have a great day. We're out.